Oi, oi, everybody. Welcome to Champman FPL Game Week 20. And it's live. Whoosh. Oh, that didn't go well. To all our new players who have joined the website, welcome. And to those who transferred over from the sheets and are now on the website, welcome back. I wish you all the very best of luck this game week. First thing to say is I'm hiding the chat because I don't know the team news yet. So, but as always, a shout out to FPL Tactician, Simple Goal FPL, James Alapron, Ragtime Willie, Lordy Leroy. Don't like what you did with your draft team there, mate. We need to have words. Motley Barnett's, FPL Panda, Talon Nadeem 90, FPL FOMO, CM Scout, FPL our man Rob Pick, and to Luke Disable at FF Scout _ Luke, who you can watch immediately after we're finished around about 10 o'clock on the Championship Manager YouTube channel. So, I'm going to get into this team news, and as I said, I genuinely haven't got a clue what's going on, but while I'm getting the team news up, I will confirm what I've done for everyone. -8 hit. Out goes Stubbs, the injured Beckham, and Kevin Phillips. In come Ian Hart, Igor Biscan, and captain for me is Thierry Henry this game week. My starting 11 that I picked is David Seaman in goal. Back four of Hippier, I've sold Stubbs and he ain't in there. Hippier, Dabizas, Hariderson. Oh, and who have I fucking missed this time? Oh, Ian Hart, who I've bought. So Hippier, Hart, Dabizas, Hariderson. Midfield three of Gerrard, who was about 90% to play. Biscan and Stephen McPhail. Front three, big. Mark Viduka, who again, we don't know if it's going to play. Well, I don't at the moment, 82% fit. My instinct was that he'll start and probably play 55 odd minutes. And that's enough time to score against a Fulham team who are not going to be able to defend when they do have fully fit players and obviously don't this game week. My vice captain is Van Nistelrooy. My captain is Thierry Henry. My subs are goalkeeper is Mark Crossley. I have Klaus Jensen and Richard Rufus available to me on the bench. Gus Poyet is still in the squad, injured. Had Luke Chadwick been confirmed in that Manchester United team, I would have taken a -12 because he was part of my plans. So thank you, Mr. Scout Rob Pick, who I can confirm for those joining in and may have listened to the brilliant podcast hosted by our friend FPL Dougal earlier today, that me and Rob don't hate each other. It's just bands, kids. It's all good in the hood. And I believe Rob is on the tweets tonight. So absolutely certain that during these tweets, there'll be loads of mentions of that prick who plays for Arsenal. And I'll have to swerve it all, basically. So, let's get into this team news. We will start with Arsenal, as and when I can find it. As they host Middlesbrough. I suppose, is game of the night, as it's third against first. Obviously, Middlesbrough reeling a little bit following that defeat at Everton in the last game week. Let's see if we can find this Arsenal team. So, Thierry Henry plays. Robert Perez we knew would be absent. There is no Tony Adams in the Arsenal lineup. Lauren plays at right back. No Francis Jeffers. Dennis Bergkamp plays in the 10 position. They are Seaman in goal. Back four of Lauren. Tony Adams' normal regular partner at centre half. Matthew Upson, Ashley Cole, Freddie Lundberg, Ray Parler, Van Bronckhorst ticking off are the midfield four. Bergkamp allowed to support from the 10 position and advance with Thierry Henry. Jeffers is amongst the Arsenal substitutes alongside Junichi Inamoto, Oleg Luzny, Jermaine Pennant and Richard Wright. Obviously, Arsenal host the boys from the Riverside, motherfuckers. For the new guys, you might want to get your kids out of them. Just saying, it's just a little bit of a warning. Right, let's have a look at this Middlesbrough team. Boxic plays, even though he's about 89% fit, as he seems to be every week. No Dean Gordon in the Middlesbrough lineup. He is only a substitute. Interesting. Means Alan Johnson on the left, Jonathan Greening on the right. Interesting news there in the Middlesbrough team. They line up Crossley, Stockdale. Gareth Southgate is back in the Middlesbrough lineup alongside Ugo Egiog. Gianluca Festa continues at left back. Central midfield is Dean Windass returns, and Paul Ince, was also a doubt, does start. It's Greening allowed to attack from the right, Johnson allowed to attack from the left. Boxic and Rickard continue their partnership up front. Gordon takes his place on the Borough bench alongside Noel Whelan, Nemeth, Mark Somerville and sub-keeper Mark Schwarzer. We will head next to Ewood Park, where this is about the most guaranteed result of the evening, that Blackburn will beat a Spurs side who have just lost to Leicester, Charlton and Derby consecutively and now have no goalkeeper and their main centre-half injured as well. We'll get onto the Spurs team in a moment, but first the Blackburn lineup. No place, interestingly, for Marcus Bent. James Thomas is an unfamiliar name who starts up front for Blackburn. Bjornaby and Grayson, the wing-backs. Blackburn have rotated here. Absolutely fair to say. There is no two guy. There is no David Weatherall. There is no Henning Berg. This is a big rotation from Blackburn. They are still Alan Kelly in goal. The back three are Marlon Brooms, John Curtis and Martin Taylor. The wing-backs who are allowed to really push on are Stigginger Bjornaby and Simon Grayson. Midfield 2 is David Dunn and Alan Mahon. Two guy was well on my radar as a one-week punt for this. Not in that Blackburn team. Matt Jansen, who was also very much on my radar, but I had to go with a premium 3 in my opinion. I've gone through in my head-to-head with the Scout Rod pick this week. Jansen in the 10 position is allowed to support Grabby and James Thomas. It's a name I'm not at all familiar with. Blackburn subs are Friedel, Damien Duff, Gordon Greer, Craig Short and Egil Ostenstad. To the Spurs lineup, the headline news is Sergei Rebrov is in goal. No, I'm kidding, obviously, but perhaps he might as well be. Tota is the one who's got the nod. He's a young keeper, got in the summer. He's gonna go tits up, mate. Honestly, he's in goal. Ledley King replaces Dean Richards. No Teddy Sheringham in the Spurs lineup means Salakovic in the attacking midfield position. That means starts for Rebrov and Everson. Sheringham is amongst the Spurs substitutes. Obviously, Gus Poyet injured for a few weeks, I spoke about at the top. So it's Tota in goal, back three of King, Perry, Bunjevcevic, Anderton and Ziga as per usual, the wing-backs. It's Richard Johnson and Simon Davis in central midfield. Salakovic in the 10 position and with an attacking arrow to support in between a front two of Rebrov and Everson. Sub-keeper is Shawan Jalal, who's also a youngster that was at Spurs. Tim Sherwood, Andy Rushbury, Ben Thatcher and Sheringham. On to the Valley, where Charlton host Manchester United. Straight away, there's an unfamiliar name in that Charlton lineup as well. And I notice no Richard Rufus for Charlton. Klaus Jensen does start. I'm down to one playing sub. This could be about to go horribly wrong for me. On the right of midfield for Charlton is Fatih Dinsa. Fatih Dinsa. Sounds like a Turkish name. I don't know anything about him. I'm not saying Fatih sounds like a Turkish name. It's the way it's spelled. F-A-T-I-H. Sounds Turkish. No Richard Rufus. No Danny Shitu. Centre-half partnership is Fish and Yards. I mean, make of that what you will, that they would suddenly decide to leave Rufus out against Manchester United. Are they just accepting what's coming their way? It's Dean Kiley in goal. Back four of Luke Young, Eddie Yowds, who scored one of the best own goals I've ever seen. Go and Google that, an own goal he scored for Ipswich against Arsenal in the mid-90s. Classic one. Goes to swing, clears it, falls over, misses it, falls on top of the ball, and in his desperate to try and reach around and get the ball, manages to swipe the ball with his hand into the net. One of the great own goals. Go and look for that one later. Chris Powell at left back. It says Fish, Yard, centre half, Powell and Young the fullbacks. Jason Wilcox plays on the left of midfield, Dints on the right. It's Klaus Jensen and Gary McAllister, I think, was also at that as a central midfield partnership. Yule and Bartlett continue together again up front. On the bench for Charlton, Sas Illich, Andy Reid, Graham Stewart, Jonathan Fortune, Danny Shitu. Feel like I need to get hold of a bit of my vape before I see this Manchester United team, I suspect. Van Nistelrooy starts. Veron starts. We obviously had the leak yesterday that Quinton Fortune and Phil Neville would play in the wide positions. Roy Keane is back from a ban and partners Juan Sebastian Veron in central midfield. United are Barthez, back four of Gary Neville, Blanc, Ronnie Johnson, Dennis Irwin at left back. Phil Neville plays right midfield, Quinton Fortune left midfield, Keane and Veron, essentially Veron allowed to attack from that position as per usual. And Dwight York still without one single attacking return this season. Partners Ruud van Nistelrooy up front. On the bench for United, Roy Carroll, Paul Scholes, Andy Cole, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Wes Brown. There are some attacking players on the bench there certainly for United. Off to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea continue in a 4-4-2. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is back in that side. The wide players are Zenden and Carboni. No Marcel Desailly, obviously, who's out injured to around about game week 24, I think. It's Kudachini in goal. Back four of Melchiot, Terry, Gallus, Babiaro. Carboni on the right and midfield, allowed to bomb all the way up the touchline. Zenden the same on the left. Petit and Lampard together in midfield. It's Gudjohnsen and Hasselbank up front. On the bench for Chelsea, Mark Bosnich, Paul Thornton, Joe Keenan, Jesper Gronkiar and Mario Stanic. Their opponents, Everton, go to this formation that we often see them employ in away games against stronger opposition. Although you could make the case on this season that Chelsea are not stronger currently, but I'm sure they will be. It's the flat back five, the defensive swell formation, if we call it. Gary Naismith plays left back, and he is allowed to get right up that touchline. Otherwise, the three midfield players all have to drop into holding midfield positions. There's a start for Danny Cadamartri in an attacking midfield position in support of Thomas Rudzinski. Watson, Stubbs, Weir, Unsworth all start. It's Simonson in goal. Flat back five from right to left of Watson, Stubbs, Weir, Unsworth, Naismith. Naismith, as I said, can push right up that left-hand touchline. Midfield three is Alexanderson right, Gravison and Pembridge centre. All three of them have to drop into holding midfield positions to protect. Cadamartri plays in an attacking midfield position, allowed to support Rudzinski. On the bench for Everton, Paul Gerrard, Leon Osman, Edan Tell, Kevin Campbell and Abel Xavier, who was a doubt and had fitness concerns, is a substitute for Everton. On to Pride Park, where Derby County host Bolton Wanderers. And Daryl Powell was another name who was very much on my radar. He is not in the Derby County lineup, and he's not the only one missing here, I can certainly say. There's no Carbonari, there's no Malcolm Christie, there's no Georgie Kinclardsey, who was a doubt, and there is a start for the man they tell me is Championship manager legend. Tonton Zola Makoko starts in central midfield for Derby County. 4.5 million. They tell me if he gets minutes, he could go mental. There are other unfamiliar names in this Derby lineup. Richard Jackson plays at right wing back. So I'd take the inclusion of Makoko here as there's rotation. I mean, up front for Derby is Branko Strupar and Lee Morris. We've hardly seen them all season. So big rotation from Derby. They are Poom in goal. Three centre halves are Steve Elliott. Chris Rigger is back. And the central of the three is Bjorn Otto Bragstad. Another name I'm not familiar with. He can step out from that three. Of course, means as well no place for Jolyon Lescott in that Derby lineup. It's Jackson and Seth Johnson, the wing backs. The midfield three is Adam Murray, Brian O'Neill, and Makoko is essential of them. Morris and Strupar play up front as split forwards. On the bench for Derby, Andy Oakes, Paul Bourtine, Yul Maweni, Georgie Kinclardsey, Danny Higginbottom. It looks like rotation might a bit tonight so far on what I'm seeing. So Bolton, Pedersen plays, Wallace plays, Cooper and Hendry play. More familiar look about Bolton's lineup. It's Jaskalainen in goal. Back three is Cooper, Bruno and Gotti returns and Colin Hendry. Simon Charlton and Neil Maddison are the wing backs. Nolan and Lee central midfield. Rod Wallace plays in the 10 position. It's Henrik Pedersen and Michael Ricketts returns up front. On the bench for Bolton, Steve Banks, Paul Warhurst, Bo Hansen, Ian Marshall and Jibril Diawara. To the big news at Elland Road. Mark Viduka starts for Leeds United. Ian Hart does not. He is not in the Leeds United lineup. That's big news in itself. There's also no Harry Kewell in that Leeds lineup. Stephen McPhail plays wide on the left of midfield. That heart part of the hit was good, wasn't it? Oh well, he's sitting there ready and waiting for them blanks and doubles. It's Martin in goal. The two fullbacks can attack. Dominic Matteo plays left back. Gary Kelly right back. It's Rio Ferdinand, Lucas Radebe at centre half. Alan Mabry plays right midfield. Batty and DeCourt central midfield. McPhail on the left. Robbie Keane in support of Viduka. On the bench, Paul Robinson, Alan Smith, Eric Backer, Harpal Singh, Michael Bridges. So the big ones to miss out there of Hart and Kewell are not in the Leeds lineup at all. Fascinating news there. They play Fulham. I can't wait to see this back four. It could be a complete mess. It is still a back four. They're familiar names. It's perhaps not as bad as I thought. There were doubts about Malbronk and Legwinski's fitness as well. And they both play, as do Collins and Stolzers in Fulham's midfield. No place for Louis Saha. Lewis Bowen-Morte back up front for Fulham. It's Van der Sar in goal. The back four is Corrigan, Zat Knight, Andy Melville, Rufus Brevitt. I had assumed that Steve Finnan would probably play left back. I think that's what a few people had thought. He's not in the Fulham 16. It's Legwinski, Malbronk, Collins and Stolzers in midfield for Fulham. Legwinski right, Stolzers left. Three of those four, basically all of them except John Collins, do have attacking arrows. This could be extremely open at Ellen Road. It's Bowen-Morte and Marley up front. Sub-goalkeeper for Fulham is Steve Crowdson. There's also places on the bench for a couple of names I'm not familiar with. Ricardo Carmo, Lucas Cornwell, Barry Howells and Louis Saha make up the Fulham bench. We got 5 minutes to kick off. So we'll rattle through these final 4 games. There's 10 games tonight, and yeah. Leicester Villa. Let's go to Leicester. Akinbayi plays again. No place for Scowcroft. Not in the 16. Knew Dennis Wise would miss out. Andy Impey was a doubt. Jordan Stewart plays left back. Jerry Taggart plays left back. There's a place at centre back for Gary Rowett, which means Frank Sinclair at right back. No Matt Elliott for Leicester. It's Ian Walker in goal. Back four of Sinclair, Matt Heath, Rowett, Taggart. Midfield four of McAnuff. Oh, Dennis Wise is available. I thought he was out. McAnuff, Dennis Wise, Savage. Muzzy Izzet is only a sub. And Jordan Stewart. Stewart and McAnuff can get right up the wing. Akinbayi and Sturridge up front. Flowers, Izzet, Matthew Jones, Trevor Benjamin, Damien Delaney on the Leicester bench. Villa are 4-4-2. Gareth Barry plays centre half. Alpay was a doubt and has not made it. Schmeichel in goal. This is a 4-4-2 for Villa. Stephen Carr, Melberg, Barry, Alan Wright, Stone, Boateng, Merson, Hendry, Dublin and Balaban again up front, which means Juan Pablo Angel is only a substitute with Hassan Kashlou, Thomas Hitzelsberger, Mark Delaney, Peter Enkelman on the Villa bench, off to Anfield. Fowler and Heskey up front. There is no Stephen Gerrard, no Danny Murphy, no Sammy Hippier. I'm down to at least 10 players now. Carnage. Danny Murphy is amongst the Liverpool subs. It's Dudek in goal. Back four of Hegum at right back, Carragher at left back. Those two can attack. The centre halves of Risa and Stephen Wright. I'm wishing I hadn't sold Kevin Phillips at this point. Midfield four Smeetser, Biscan, Berger. Richie Partridge plays left midfield. Fowler and Heskey up front. Kirkland, Barnby, Murphy, Froda Kipper, Jamie Redknapp on the Liverpool bench. Froda Kipper, mate. Sunderland's have Phillips and Sibon together up front. Craddock plays centre half with McCartney in the absence of the injured Emerson Tome, who I think could be back as early as game week 21. It's Arca left midfield, Gray left back. Sunderland are 4-4-2. Sullivan, Mills, McCartney, Craddock, Gray. Midfield, Bart Williams, McCann, Schwartz, Arca. Bart Williams has played everywhere. He plays right midfield and can attack from there. So too Arca from the left. Phillips, Sibon up front. Sorensen, Reddy, Harslers, Landers, Medina on the bench for Sunderland. I think this is the first time this season I haven't actually managed to get 10 on the pitch. which, as the new players might be learning, can be a bit of an achievement in itself. Where's the Newcastle lineup, guys? You're making me work for this. There we go, hiding at the end. Shearer starts at around about 72% fit. I'd love to kill this poor fella. There's a change in goal. No Shay Given. New signing Jimmy Walker starts in goal for Newcastle. The fucking state of it. And there's no Dabbins as either. I'm down to 9 players. Dab that. Oh my gosh, the state of it. Kieran Dyer plays. There was a doubt about him as well. No Posadas for Newcastle. No Sapuntzis. He's a substitute. The state of it. Livia Bernard was a doubt. 3 assists against Ipswich in the previous game week. Doesn't play. What a mess. It's Walker in goal. Barton, Marcelino, O'Brien, Wayne Quinn. And 2 fullbacks allowed to attack. It's Gavilan on the right. Gary Speed on the left. Dyer and Clarence Acuna central. Cole Court, Alan Shearer up front. On the bench for Newcastle, Shay Given, Jamie McLean, Robbie Elliott, Craig Bellamy, Anthony Sapuntzis. Jimmy Walker is in goal for Newcastle United. Oh my God. Southampton, with Kevin Davis absent, we're obviously going to play Pahars and Beattie up front. I say obviously, you can never particularly tell with this game. Saints are Francis Bernardi plays again. No Gary Monk. Wayne Bridge is back at left back. Could be quite important. And Troll Anders Svensson plays right midfield as well. Southampton are Paul Jones in goal. Rory Delap, Lundik van Bernali, Bridge, the back 4. Svensson, Draper, Ray, and Brian Howard, who I'm told is not a member of E17, but actually just 2 different people from the Backstreet Boys, plays left midfield. He can advance, so can Svensson, Pahars and Beattie up front. It's Moss, Murray, McDonald, Jones and Monk on the bench for Southampton. And finally, at Upton Park, Joe Cole is again absent for West Ham United, not fit enough. Freddie Canute is only a substitute. West Ham are... There's no Trevor Sinclair, I notice, in that West Ham lineup either. It's Hislop in goal. Back 4, Rigobert Song, Hayden Fox, Thomas Repka, Scott Minto. Hutchison and Lomas, central midfield. Todorov plays right midfield. Courtois, left midfield. The 2 of them can bomb all the way up the flank. And Defoe plays up front with Paolo Di Canio. It's David James, Titi Camara, Christian Daly, Leighton Phelan, or just Leon Phelan, they missed out the T on the birth certificate, and Freddie Canute on the West Ham bench. And to Ipswich, where the big defenders play. And I think we might have been holding on breath for that. Jermaine Wright starts as a defensive forward, interestingly. It's 5-3-2. We've seen this formation from Ipswich a few times. And I can tell you, I'm telling you that team, it's a disastrous start for Ipswich, because you'll see the clock is ticking and West Ham have a penalty at Upton Park. Disastrous start for Ipswich. Just Defoe receives the ball in the box and Bramble makes a mess of the tackle, bundling the young striker to the ground. Martin Bodnam points to the spot. Paolo Di Canio will step up. While we wait for news on that West Ham penalty, I'll confirm the Ipswich team for you. Serrani in goal. Making right back. Central defenders of Gardso, Bramble, Hariderson. Tarico plays left back. Jamie Clapham left midfield. Finidi George right midfield. Matt Holland centrally. Jermaine Wright and Pablo play up front as defensive forwards asked to drop into attacking midfield areas. On the bench for Ipswich, Andy Marshall, Roycer, Armstrong, McGrill and Tommy Miller. Those are your lineups, and we think the first goal is about to go in any moment now at Upton Park. Cheers, everyone. Slancher scored. West Ham have the lead against Ipswich. Di Canio converts that penalty. I have not got the update of the tweet, but I certainly trust my man FPL captain who's posted goal. If captain says goal, that's good enough for me. I don't have the updated tweet as yet. Would I assume be Defoe assist, obviously, and Di Canio goal. One of the things FPL captain did say for me to pass on, yeah, it's confirmation of the tweet now. Di Canio goal, Defoe assist. West Ham lead 1-0. Ipswich clean sheet did not last long this evening. Because of the change from the sheets to the website, the guys behind the scenes, all the people that I mentioned at the start of the show, very well done to all of you. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. It does mean that tonight, unfortunately, we probably won't be able to bring you ownership and captaincy numbers. If the guys can give it to me, they will, but unfortunately don't expect it this evening, guys. Newcastle have the lead at St James's Park. Cole Court, who's been a differential for some, did they keep the faith? He scored. Newcastle lead 1-0 against Southampton. There is no assister to that goal. Cole Court, the scorer, no assister. I feel like I want to clarify what my bloody team looks like. What a mess. So I've got Seaman, Hariderson, Hippier. So I've got just 3 players defensively, not the worst ones to miss, I guess. I've got a midfield 3 now of McPhail, Biscan, Jensen, Captain Henri, Viduka, and Van Nistelrooy. So I'm down to 9. I guess in this game, if you were going to miss players, you'd miss them defensively, wouldn't you? So, yeah, Hariderson gone. So the only defensive returns I can have in terms of clean sheets would already rest on Seaman and Hippier. But I do have a midfield 3 and a front 3. I have 9. Let us know in the chat, guys. How many do you have tonight? If you just let us know if you've got less than 9. Woodwork's been hit at the Valley. Ruud van Nistelrooy plays a nice 1-2 with Roy Keane and finds himself in the box. His shot looks hopeful, but grazes the top of the bar and goes over, an early warning sign for Charlton. All go tonight. Good fun doing that team news blind. A little bit scary, mind. Max says Hippier's not playing. Hippier's not playing either. So I've got 8. So I've literally got the only I've got 5 defenders, and the only one that's playing is Hariderson. Yes, absolutely. Try it. Right. Yeah, you're quite right. Thank you, Mac. So I've got 5 defenders. The only one who started has already conceded. So I'm playing 1-3-3. That's my formation today. What a fucking state. Jesus Christ. Mind you, I could have taken hits for others even more, like Chadwick, Darryl Powell, 2 guy who are not playing as well. So, okay, it is what it is. Might put me in a better position for the next game week on the assumption that maybe they'll all play. So, has anyone got 8 or less? That's how many I've got. I've got 8. State of that. My God. Can I have Crossley? Information on the Di Canio penalty. Can you believe that Paolo Di Canio was once popular enough to merit his own gif? Oh, Rob Picks on the fucking tweets, doesn't he? Love you, Rob. He shows a tiny glimpse of wire, stepping up coolly to slot his penalty into the far corner and beyond Serrani's stretching dive. And on the Cole Court goal, great start for a very positive-looking Newcastle side. Speed puts in a cross for Shearer, who gets above Lundikvan but sees his header well saved by Jones. Court reacts quickest though, and he hits the ball into the roof of the net. Goal at Pride Park for Derby County, and one of the standing forwards has scored. Branko Strupar, the scorer, and there is an assist for Seth Johnson. Rob Pick says, James, before I log out, don't log out, mate. You're on the tweets. Who do you fancy for Scout versus Community? Question. James Alapran, Omri and McPhail versus me, Seaman and Robbie Keane. Oh, James Alapran all day long, mate. I'm not even just saying it. Like yeah. Definitely James Alapran, mate. So yeah, Bradley says that -8 is rough now, James. It is, yeah, but you know, it's not so much maybe. If Omri could go mental, then actually it still pays for itself. Don't forget, as part of the hit, I had Beckham injured, Poyet injured. I've had to keep Poyet as part of that as well. All right, so I've lost. I would have had Stubbs at Chelsea. If Phillips returns and Henri doesn't, then yeah, it's probably going to hurt. But if Henri does well and returns as a captaincy, and actually if Van Nistelrooy blanks as well, then he's kind of done the job. And if Viduka can return as well. On the Strupar goal, Seth Johnson does brilliantly to resist the jostling and cajoling of Madison before getting in a nice cross for Strupar. The big Belgian rises above Cooper and heads home his first of the season. He looks delighted. He'll have big morale next week. No one's loved him for 4 months, but he'll have big morale next week. Anyone in a worse position than me? James Mahoney has 8 as well. FPL Hitman told everyone to press the like button. That's nice of you, pal. Cheers. Everyone, press the like button, or, you know, I might not come back when Premier League football starts. Why I remember and why there's a little bit of a break in the play. Right, Thursday tonight. Streams. No, there's no break in play. Bolton have an equaliser at Pride Park. Goal scorer is Rodney Wallace. Assist goes to Kevin Nolan. Bolton on terms against Derby. No surprise, I think, with that Derby lineup that clean sheet was going to go pretty early. Rob Pick says, still Dave on the tweets tonight. Not going to steal his credit. I'm on Saturday. Oh, okay. Good luck Saturday, Rob. So that's Dave who put in about a GIF. He's just playing up to you, isn't he? Oh, dear. Pet Talk says, I'll like it when I get a return. You might not get one. Should we play that game? Only like the video once you've got a return. They'll just really not play that game. I'd be leaving here some weeks with no likes. I'm pretty sure. Streams going forward. Sorry to mention. So Saturday will be usual, 3 o'clock. And actually, we obviously know the Premier League fixtures up to first weekend of July, isn't it? They're not going to let me do it. Goal at Anfield. Patrick Berger is the goal scorer for Liverpool. Assist for Robbie Fowler. Berger goal, Robbie Fowler assist. Slight differences with the midweek streams. So they're going to stay on Wednesday in June, except for next week. The stream will be on Tuesday. Reason for that being is it's the first night back of Premier League. The next night, I think you're all going to want to be in your last-minute decision-making process of FPL. To be honest, it's not even so much about avoiding the games, I think. Because, listen, once you've watched Villa Sheffield United, sorry, Tomo, everyone will be bored shitless, right? And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll stick that on the background and watch a bit of Champ Man. So, but it's more so for your FPL decision-making as well. You've got all day to, particularly people are going to be on unlimited or free hits or whatever, to give you Wednesday. So it's going to stay on Wednesdays, except for next week it will be on Tuesday before the Premier League starts. And also, it's going to on the Wednesdays it's going to move back an hour later, so it'll be 8:30 start, 9 o'clock kickoffs. Manchester United have a penalty at the Valley. Dwight York centres the ball for Van Nistelrooy, but Eddie Yalds is all over him in the air, and it's a penalty. Now I thought Varane was meant to take these, but clearly United have reshuffled their penalty taking order. I assumed that Van Nistelrooy was on them. No? I wonder if it's Blanc. I bet it could be Blanc, you know. Could be. Wait and see. Heavy Finger says, James, how many players would you have if you hadn't done anything to your team? I'd have had no Rufus, no Gerrard, no Poyet, no Dabizas, no Hippier. I'd 9. I'd still only had 9, I think. So, I ain't... Yeah. Shit. Hold up. It says goal Van Nistelrooy, but wait, no. Van Nistelrooy slotted the ball past Kylie, who guessed the right way, but there was an encroachment and the ref orders a retake. Van Nistelrooy to take again. So Van Nistelrooy scored, but it was encroachment, so he's going to take it again. We'll await further news on that. Drum roll, boo. Ooh. Ruud Van Nistelrooy, cha la 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 la. I don't know if he scored. I'm just singing it. Ryan says, what is this? My goodness. Andrew Dell says, damn you, Andy. We await. Scored. Goal. Van Nistelrooy scores. No assister has obviously won the penalty himself. So at the second time of asking, Van Nistelrooy showed he could do it twice. Charlton 0, Manchester United 1. No assister on that goal. Ruud Van Nistelrooy, the goal scorer. Well done, Van Nistelrooy. Captainers. If I'd done nothing. Yeah. Brilliant question. Let me see if I can double check that. Did I take any screenshots earlier? Yeah. So I would have had no Dabizas, no Hippier, no Rufus. Oh, that's the fucking new one, James, you idiot. I think I'd have had 9 if I'd done nothing. But now I've got like Omri and Biscan. Actually, no, I've got Biscan. So I think I'd have still had 8, you know. I'd have had 8 with Poyet's injury. So this, either way, I'd have had 8 players. So I have to say, I've been very, very lucky on the rotations this year. So no complaints. Arsenal have scored at Highbury. Goal scorer is Lauren. And there is an assist for Ashley Cole. Arsenal won, Middlesbrough 0 in that big clash towards the top of the table. Lauren, the goal scorer, Ashley Cole with the assist. Hipok07 says, hands up if you enjoyed the very first Planet FPL Patreon podcast. Yay! Hands up if you enjoyed the second one. Yay! Now, listen, if I'm on Patreon, I got to do the odd self-publicity now, guys. But I only said it because it was in the chat. Bradley Parker says, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. Petrol says, I can like the stream now. Good man yourself. Andy G, the GoPro. Well done, rude vice captainers. Thanks, Besaidus. Captain Besaidus over Van Nistelrooy. I mean, I know Saints are shit, but... Goal for Spurs! Go on, lads! Simon Davis, the goal scorer. And assist for Stefan Salakovic. Spurs lead at Blackburn. Simon Davis, the goal scorer. Assist for Stefan Salakovic. Go on, boys. I told you Blackburn winning today was a certainty. Or Recluse says, imagine if the AI had decided to change the penalty taker after the first one. That would have been brutal. Petok was not happy with that Lauren return. I think he had weeks of him and got absolutely nothing and got really quiet recently. FPL Woollyback says, took a minus 36 last week and brought in Newcastle treble up. Boom. Given Dabizas and Besaidus. Currently kicking the dog around the house. Oh dear. Yeah, if you're wondering, the minus 36 would have been, I've given up on the first half of the season. I'm going to play the second half of the season. Quite a few happy with that Salakovic goal. Berger has another for Liverpool. They're 2-0 up against Sunderland. No assister on that second for Patrick Berger, but he scored again. Berger has both. Liverpool lead Sunderland by 2-0. Yeah, Graham S, FPL Hitman, DJ Music Case, Alan Daddy, FPL Cobbler. Quite a few happy with Salakovic in there. FPL Andy says, seller assist up the Spurs. Niz Godfrey says, hey James, guys, how are you? I'm good, Niz. Did I pronounce your name right? Let me know. He said, you got to say it like, is it? But obviously there's no T and there's an N at the start. So I'm guessing it's Niz Godfrey. So let me know, mate, if I've got that right. If I haven't, I apologise. I struggle with words, you know that. Cole Coote says, are Viduka and Shearer hobbling yet? I bet they are, mate. Heavy Finger 7, left wing Johnson usually useless. Right wing, he's a postman. So we've got some updates on some commentary from the goals. So on Patrick Berger's first, Liverpool flew out the trap. Sunderland's clearance terrible. Fowler got his head to it and sends it to the Czech, who has a fantastic opportunity. And he sends a shot from 25 yards past the out of position keeper. Nice. On the Rod Wallace goal for Bolton, Derby's joy was short-lived. Route 1 from Bolton, and Gotti thunders the long ball forwards. Nolan gets his head to it, and Wallace gathers up the second ball. He has a bit of time and lines up a lovely low hard shot past Mark Poom, who didn't even move. And we should obviously have some news on Berger's second goal very shortly. Andy Martin's in saying Berger owners delighted. Not doing bad at all. By the way, I see Gary Shepherd is in the chat, who's new. And we've also got a Gary Shepherd in the chat, who's here every week. What's the chances? You two need to talk it over, by the way. On the Lauren goal for Arsenal. Arsenal get the early lead. It's a lovely team move, which ends with the fullbacks combining. Ashley Cole finds himself in space on the edge of the box and picks out Lauren, who traps it before picking his shot, a spot back across Crossley. Oh, fucking hell. Good job that was on the first beer. And on the Van Nistelrooy penalty, it's ice cool from the Dutchman from the retaken penalty. Kylie dives the same way as before, but the league's top scorer goes the other side. And United lead, didn't only just put it away twice, sent keeper the wrong way, going the same way twice. Niz says, Dutch is very difficult for British. It's 9 out of 10, mate. If you'd said it was Dutch, no, I can't do it. Okay. If I do a Dutch impression, it would just sound like I'm drunk and I'm slurring. Perry Allen says that burger from -8 is doing nicely. Well done. Block FPL captaincy stats will be interesting as always. As said, Block, just in case, and for those joining a little late because of the change to the website, we might not have any captaincy ownership stats for you this evening. The guys are working really hard on it. If they can get it to me, they will, but we might not be able to supply that for you tonight, unfortunately. On the Simon Davis goal, Kelly makes a sensational debut from Stefan Everson, but Bjornby only hacks the ball away as far as Selakovic, who manages to guide a header into the path of Davis. The Welshman runs onto it and strikes it with fury. Unstoppable. Come on, you Spurs. And on Berger's second goal, Partridge puts in a good cross for Biscan, who gets above McCann well. The Croatian's header is well saved by Sullivan, but Berger is on hand for a simple tap home. 6 in 8 for him now. And I think a red card in there as well. So Patrick Berger, yeah, really interesting. Rob Pick, I know you've left now, but I told you, my 1 week punt. Who was listening on Champ Man stream on Sunday night? My 1 week punt has scored. Matt Jansen has Blackburn Rovers on terms against Tottenham. There is no assister goal for Jansen. It was certain that someone was going to score against Spurs. I would bet money that's Blackburn's first shot on target. Yeah, we don't need any other Gary Shepherds. The two we've got's enough, and they're spelt differently as well. So one's Shepard and one's Shepherd, but if you say them, you just sound the same, don't you? Or does anyone think different? We'll let the two boys decide on that, I think. Christopher C says, I have a feeling Spurs game will be 3 or 4-0 to Spurs. Yeah. FPL Hitman says, Jansen, great call. I don't think it was, mate. It's just Spurs are a mess. On the Jansen goal, Benjevich handles the ball just outside the box, and Jansen steps up to take the free kick. And how? It's an excellent finish into the top corner. Young Tota could perhaps have done better, mind. He was wrong-footed and didn't even move. Mate, if Blackburn have 7 shots on target, they might get 7, mate. Vinyl Richie says, give Biscan some points. Yeah, give Biscan some points, please. That'd be good. Mark Badger, if everyone changes their name to Gary Shepherd, I'd just be saying Gary Shepherd says, wouldn't I? That's how it'll go. There's only 10 Gary Shepherds, 10 Gary Shepherds. Auto Recluse wants the real Gary to stand up, but I'm going to say Gary Shepherd with 2 P's in his name was here first. And I think he's on my Patreon, so he definitely wins. Another goal for Bolton at Pride Park. It's going to be popular for some. Henrik Pedersen is the goal scorer. Assist for Simon Charlton. Good old chubby Pedersen. Keeps doing the business, doesn't he? He's got Bolton in front. Simon Charlton with the assist. Andrew Martin saying, well done Spurs for selling Sullivan. Thing is, Andrew, like Sullivan ain't even better than Sorensen. The Sorensen's at the Sunderland team. It's just a transfer that just absolutely fucked everyone, basically. Auto Recluse says, my name is what? My name is what? My name is Gary Shepherd. Andrew Mike says, Schwarzer hasn't had a game yet. He's a good keeper. You don't remind me, Andy. I've got Crossley in my squad. Bradley's happy. You got Pedersen in. Billy Hadaway's got him. Ferrell's in. Says, oi, oi. Shout out for the Wolfpack boys there. Good job. TJ Music Ace is happy with that Pedersen goal. So to Graham S. Music Ace. Ram. Steve Hamilton, Pedder's captain this week. And his information on the goal. What a start to the game here. And what a season Pedersen is having. Simon Charlton picks out the big day and he sidesteps. Bullshit. Rigger beautifully and has a go at goal. Velocity more than accuracy. Gets it past Poom. And Bolton have turned it round. Would of course be, if they hold on to that, a second consecutive away win for the promoted Trotters, who won at West Ham in game week 19. Perlo's Pen says, was Pedersen good in real life? No. He was. Do you know what? He was the perfect player. When we did that old Chunky Chips podcast a year and a half ago, or whenever it was, when we had the chunky chips, the player we should have put up for the graphics, Henrik Pedersen, would have been perfect for that graphic. He was just awkward. He wasn't bad. He definitely wasn't good. He was just awkward. Just noticing, looking at the league table, which you'll see live now, bottom right, obviously as it stands with Middlesbrough behind and Manchester United winning, that would put United a point clear of Middlesbrough with a game in hand, and they'd still be, I think, 9 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand on them as well, I think. Friend Ronaldinho, Neil Murray's in the chat. Says, is it Gary Shepherd talk or is it Gary Shepherd talk? I don't know. But Neil secretly told me, not very secretly because it's there in open air, that he was probably looking forward to this more than FPL. Go on, Mr. Murray. Have some of that, mate. Okay, so many fucking Garys. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose now. But the other way says, odds that Suj didn't import his sheet. Oh, we'll ask him. Suj is in the chat. He's not in the chat, but not your drink back anyway. Remember, if you're playing a drinking game tonight, kids, please drink responsibly. I know that Suj definitely did his team before we recorded one of the podcasts yesterday. Don't ask me which one. I said to Suj, do it with me now. I don't want to have this conversation with you at 6:15 when I can be on Twitter or on my Patreon Slack and helping people with their issues. Don't make me be there and be helping you. So we spent 5 minutes and he definitely did it yesterday. Whether he changed his fucking team or not, I have no clue. But he definitely transported it over from the sheet. Update from Ellen Road. We haven't had any yet. First reaction of the night here and against the run of play. It's for Fulham. Van der Sar sends a long clearance forward. Marley controls it and spins on it and catches everyone by surprise with a long-range strike, except Nigel Martin, who saves excellently. There's always something stupid going on in the chat in these streams. And it is the unification of all Garys this evening. Pep Talk says, Middlesbrough throwing in the towel ready with that lineup today. They need Johnson on the right and Gordon on the left again. Is it really a thing? It's just a coincidence that Johnson seems to return from the right. I know that he does return more from the right than from the left, but it's a computer game. Does it matter if he's right or left? Isn't it about the matchups, as Luke would tell us, and how far advanced he's allowed to get? Ben Moxham in the chat says, evening all. Hello, Ben. Hope you're well. FPL Feral has kindly offered to set up a Gary mini league. If you can follow him at FPL Feral, he'll get that set up for all the Garys. Yeah, and there's another Gary Shepherd saying we'll set up a mini league for Garys. What? Right, that's it, kids. I'm only reading the comments out from people not called Gary Shepherd. Andy Ken says, is this where all the Garys are? Yep, all the Garys are here, mate. Nobody calls their fucking kid Gary now, do they? Let's be honest. You all got lumbered with something that was going on around about the 80s and 90s. That's my guess. Any Garys in there who were not born in the 80s or 90s? Do you wanna let us know? It's definitely 80s, maybe late 70s, possibly. No one calls their kid Gary now. I don't mean that offensively. I'm just telling you. You never meet a kid. Oh, that's a nice baby. What's the baby called? Gary. There's no Garys. No one's called Gary anymore. FPL captain says Johnson is left-footed too, isn't he? Yeah, it's very true, Chris. I guess, look, inverted wingers. Was it too early for inverted wingers? He come in and hit it on his left foot. Does that even matter in this? I suspect it probably doesn't. Dick Wellington's on the 4 paws tonight. Nice. Spurs are behind. Young Thomas has the goal. I can't remember his first name, and I don't really fucking care, actually. But J. Thomas, might as well be Jerome Thomas, isn't it? I know it's not. Was given Blackburn the lead against Spurs. No assist in that one. I'm guessing that's Blackburn's second shot on target. The original Gary Shepherd says he was born in the 70s. I bet it was late. Jessica Pye, I feel like this is the Top Gear remake of their Rallycross episode. Can't see I've seen that, Jessica. Hit me up on Twitter, send that my way. Perlo's Pen, you never meet a Maureen anymore, right? That's very true. I mean, there's a few. Barry's another one, isn't he? Barry. No one calls their kid Barry anymore, do they? Gazzy Gary said, "What's this crackle about? What a recluse sent me here. Seems like some fun." On the Thomas goal, Blackburn have turned it round to lead, and it's a wonderful individual goal. Young James, I should have known that, shouldn't I? Young James Thomas picks up a clearance and beats Perry before showing Bunjevcevic a clean set of heels. He steadies himself and fires a great finish past Tota. Blackburn lead. FPL Hitman saying there's more most Garys born about 10 minutes ago. Listen, there's more Garys in this chat than have been born this century. I'd have a bet on that. Niz Godfrey, I don't know why you're saying Arsenal lost versus Bradford, but yeah, that was a funny one. That what was that? 2013 in the League Cup quarter final. Even Andrew Martin's done it. Jesus, the state of you lot. Mark Dorney, the entertainer's right again. Yeah, entertaining at losing. Hello, Larry. That's another name. Larry Leopard says nice stream. That's another name we don't get. Blackburn have now had 3 shots on target. Grabby is the scorer this time. No assister. Grabby goal, assister none. Should just take the -8 for 3 Blackburn forwards, I think. FPL Badger says, if I ever have a kid, I'm going to call it Gary Barry. You ain't, mate. You ain't. But somebody screenshot that Mark FPL Badger said that and put that in my DMs, please. He also wants to call it Barry Gary Doherty. Very nice. Neil Murray. Favourite Gary James? Mabbott? Yeah, probably. Him or Lineker. Would have to be. J Lanes 9. You ever been told you look like Alan Hutton? I have been told that, actually. It's very, very true. By a young lady who then took me to bed, actually. Very, very true. I've had some strange ones in here. People have been like, you look like this person. I'm like, no, I've not had that one. Alan Hutton I have had before. Yeah, worryingly. I don't think it's a good thing. On the Grabby goal, Blackburn grab a second in 2 minutes. Grabby ends his goal drought like Thomas pouncing on a loose ball. Spurs defenders back off and don't offer a challenge, so he advances into the box before driving low past the hapless Tota. There will be more for Blackburn. Pep Talk says maybe Spurs aren't playing any goalie today. Listen, I joked at the start that it was Redbrough in goal, and it fucking might as well be. Niz Godfrey says I meant Brentford, by the way. Brentford? When did Brentford beat Arsenal? Oh, was that today in a friendly or something, possibly? I'm fucking worried about friendly results, Jesus. Storm Legacy. Suj on Throwback Thursday tomorrow. James. Who is Gary? It won't be Throwback Thursday tomorrow, mate. It'll be Clash of the Correspondents with FPL Pringle and 3-5 Who, because I believe you lot want to hear them boys with the ITK talking about Manchester City and Arsenal assets. So that's what we're going to bring you. And you'll also hear on tomorrow's Clash of the Correspondents, if you happen to tune in and listen, you'll be like, James don't know what he's doing with that show next week. Yes, he does. We're bringing it forward to Tuesday next week. I'm going to give you a little bit of Ricky Saunders and Gary Robinson is my cat plan, talking about Tottenham and Manchester United. We'll release that Tuesday ahead of this stream on Tuesday night and ahead of your Wednesday FPL deadline. It's what we do. Andrew Martin's changed his name back, thank God. Says he feels cleaner now. FPL captain saying the night of no assists tonight. Yeah, hasn't been many actually. Lots of none, as per usual. Ian McAllister says, I got told like I look like Gary Bowyer. Devastated. As am I, as I see that one of the men I sold on the -4 has just returned. Kevin Phillips has scored for Sunderland at Anfield, which shouldn't shock really with no Henshaw or Hippier on the Liverpool team sheet. Phillips the scorer and no assister. Maybe they've just forgot. Kevin Phillips is the goal scorer for Sunderland. They now trail Liverpool by 2-1 at Anfield. Gary Robinson says, glad I captained a Dutchman with 3 initials. Yeah, this game week is not going well for me, is it? Let's be very honest. Ah, dear. It's all a game. I still get you. I get you all. It's not like it's the first game week of the second half of the season. Yeah, by my maths, I'm on about -5 at the moment. Thank you, Saint E. I appreciate that comment, mate. On the Phillips goal, a simple goal. Sullivan boots his goal, kick long. The ball comes off a Liverpool player. Phillips gathers it up and fires home from 20 yards. Liverpool now change their shape and look like they'll try to defend this slender lead. Now, Phillips going to score again, isn't he? Benny Blanco says, heard rumours Alan Hutton has been going around pretending to be James. He's been getting very little action, though. I tell you what, if Alan Hutton could hold this accent and slurring permanently for 20 game weeks, he's done well, hasn't he? Excuse me. Niz says, Phillips my troll. Yeah, so that is for me as well, mate. Actually, no, Phillips didn't troll me. He did fine for me. I didn't think he'd return today, and I was a little cautious of getting him in with the fact they're playing Southampton next as well at St Mary's. But yeah, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to that front three. Let's get it done. And they could all, I mean, Van Nistelrooy scored, but it's neither here nor there. When I haven't captained him, would have been better if he hadn't. Decided, yeah, I want to go for it. That's the front three. I definitely want to go to it with it till at least game week 23 and game week 24. I'll reassess. Not a great start to Liverpool on their defensive strategy. Sunderland win a corner after Dudek does well to save Sibon's effort. McCann puts it in. Little Julio Arca meets it, but his header clips the bar and goes over. Shamil's in. So, hello, James. Hello, mate. Graham S. We don't need to talk about him, mate. It's like I ain't going to talk about the Chelsea manager, mate. Scarlett also sold Phillips. Near Schatz is only 10 more minutes for the Viduka goal. Viduka will go off from like 55. Nailed. Listen, that 1 pointer is going to look good for me today. Goal for West Ham at Upton Park, scored by Tottenham's. Slash that out. West Ham United's Jermaine Defoe. And this time we have an assist for none. Again, no assist on that one either. Jermaine Defoe with West Ham second. They lead Ipswich by 2-0. Gary Smith. I sold Burger. Twat. You call him Burger a twat? Call him yourself twat. Storm Legacy says, was your Spurs this bad in 2001-02? We had a nice little winter period, actually. And then after we lost to Blackburn in the League Cup final, it was abysmal. It was really, really bad for a couple of years after that. But actually, around the winter period, we played some nice football. Like we beat Chelsea 5-1 in the League Cup semi. I remember us playing great in a win over Fulham just before Christmas. Beat them 4-0. We played all right over the winter period, but otherwise, yeah, shit, man. And no, we couldn't defend. It was the same. It was no different. And we always lost away from home. Always lost away from home. I remember we got ourselves into a good position and we played Ipswich twice in a month and Ipswich went down. And Ipswich hadn't won. I think Ipswich didn't win for about 12 games before they beat us and another 12 games after they beat us. Something ridiculous. But they beat us twice. What is going on at West Ham? They're winning by more than a goal. Oh yeah, they always lose the lead, don't they? Not that it feels like they've had it for a long time. Di Canio lines up a free kick 25 yards out. It's a decent effort, but it deflects off the wall. Defoe reacts quickest though, latching onto the loose ball before firing past Sereni. And on Ipswich Town, just a thought here. Obviously, it's Leicester at home next, then United away, Blackburn away, Derby at home. 2 decent home games in the next 4. But I feel like we're getting sucked in because of how good they can be on the bonus points. 3 conceded at Newcastle, 2 now conceded at West Ham. It's not even half time yet. So every chance that's going to be 3 or more again today. Is it worth sticking these guys in? I mean, at least Ryderson turned up for me today. It's more than the rest of my 4 other defenders can say. Woodwork's been here at Ewood Park. James Thomas looks a real threat. He meets Bjornaby's cross but sees his header come back off the bar. Blackburn recycled the ball and Bjornaby again picks out the Welshman, but his second header is saved by Tota. Spurs all over the place. Christ, the fucking keeper made a save. Can't believe it. Oh dear. I see FPL Hitman saying double H is the only Ipswich I have hoping for bonus. He won't be in the bonus today. Unless he hits an attacking return. Or unless Ipswich get back on level turns or something. James Alackman says, is the live Spurs obituary? Is this the live Spurs obituary? I presume you're saying, no, I haven't quite written that one yet, but I'll get round to it. Pete Squires says, old team, wasn't it? Poyet, Sheringham, Ferdinand, and creaky legs. Yeah, exactly. They got to the springtime and they were fucked. Like Villa are fucked at Filbert Street. Leicester have the lead. Adi Akinbaye. It's now 3-2. He's scored for Leicester. And the assist goes to Robbie Savage. We have an assister. Yay! Akinbaye goal, Savage assist. Leicester lead Aston Villa by a 0-0. Gary Smith says, is Jeffers and Malbronk playing? Jeffers is a substitute. Malbronk is playing. Gary, you could join me at 7:30 and we do the team news. Or you could look through the Fantasy Champ Man tweets and then you can see everyone who's playing, mate. Storm Legacy wants none. Wants to know how much he is. He costs none. You can get him in. I mean, to be fair, mate, I've got... How many nuns have I got? I've got 3 nuns this week, and I ain't got none of them assists. The official accounts at a moment there saying it's 2-1 Leicester, but I know what I mean. It's 1-0. There's been a few good chances here, but now we have a goal. Stewart crosses into the box. Savage heads it back in towards Akinbaye, and the Nigerian unleashes a fabulous volley past Schmeichel. Dublin and Hendry have been booked for Villa. Dion Dublin's been doing very well, isn't he? Just can't get him in. I wonder if any of the new players decided to take a bit of a gamble on him. Wrong time, I think, with not playing in the blank. No double as well. Fixtures okay. It's Charlton at home next, but then blank and then Leeds away. Then Blackburn at home. So the 2 home fixtures are great for him. And actually even Leeds away. If anyone's going to score against Leeds at Ellen Road, it's likely to be someone like Dion Dublin, I'd say. But I don't think you can. Goal at St James's Park. And we all wish right now that we owned Alan Shearer. Has given Newcastle a 2-0 lead against one of his former clubs in Southampton. No assist on that goal either. It's Shearer goal. Shearer on 72% fitness, I believe it was, has given Newcastle a 2-0 lead. For the few owners out there, as I presume many wouldn't have taken the gamble, he's done the business. If he'd have been fit, I said this on Sunday night stream, or last week, one of them I said it, I would have got him in before the Ipswich game, and I definitely would have captained him in this game week. So that's part of the reason for not selling Viduka for me. It's like, all right, he's probably going to come off in 15 minutes and do nothing. But what he could do in the time on the pitch would be enough. Shearer was a little bit different. You couldn't go and buy him. It's different to actually selling the asset. No. Henrik Pedersen owners. Fire. He scored again and assisted by Shyman Charlton again. Pedersen goal, Charlton assist. Bolton lead 3-1 at Derby. Wow. 2 for Pedersen. He is doing bits, isn't he? That must put him on close to 10 goals for the season now. Graham S. Shearer on one leg. Southampton truly are woeful. Scala, Shearer height for the blank and double. Don't get injured now. Listen, if any of my front 3, Viduka, Van Nistelrooy or Henry, were to get injured between now and the blank, or red carded or whatever, if he's fit, it's definitely him. Wouldn't think twice about it. If he's fit, he'll score goals. Quite a few happy with the second Pedersen goal. I see Bradley Parker amongst them, Ram, Graham S. On the Shearer goal, Newcastle's decision to play a part-fit Shearer looks to be paying off. He gets another header away in the box from a great speed centre. Jones sort of saved it, but made a mess of it and couldn't keep it out. Newcastle are dominating. And on Pedersen's second, the same combo link up again, and Derby's game has fallen apart. Charlton, Simon, swings in across this time, and that man Pedersen is there to head home. Plenty of chances here, though. Derby won't have given up hope yet, despite their disappointment. Rio Mills says, Bamba Pedersen, my fatty guy. FBFL James, mate. Who do you think will get Champions League football in the final running? I only think it's between Chelsea and United for 4th. They've both got a great run of fixtures. I know Chelsea's still got to play City and Liverpool, but their fixtures otherwise look fairly straightforward. And United have got great fixtures as well. So I think with respect to Wolves and Sheffield United, I just can't see the other two slipping up, particularly Moukoko has scored for Derby. Boom. 2-3 at Pride Park. Tonton, Zola, Moukoko. Champ man, Nostalgia Boys. He scored, lads. Chris Rigger with the assist. Derby 2, Bolton 3. Give us a hand up if you got Moukoko in your team. I bet Andy Martin's got him in his differential dead draft shit. I bet. Perlo's pen. Awkward. Pedersen scores again. Scala, wow, went Teddy over Pedersen 4 weeks ago, about 30 points difference. It happens. It happens. Carl, good to see all the lads giving out about Bolton's first goal are happy now. Yeah. Soon comes around, doesn't it? Game lasts 90 minutes. Oh, that could go wrong. Now I know why the first one went everywhere. Water Recluse says Pedersen will be on the sauce tonight. Colm says, hashtag find Gary Smith's missing chips on the Moukoko goal. This boy looks a hell of a player. And it's a great individual goal as he picks up a clearance, beats 2 men before firing home. Incredibly, our FPL tactician picked up the Swede as a joke in our zombie draft at the weekend. Now who's laughing? Right, and I did know that Andy Martin got Moukoko, yeah. Graham S says, Tonson bandwagon incoming. My advice, guys, is don't. Derby have made multiple changes tonight, and a lot of them will be restored for their following fixture, I should imagine, which is away to Manchester United. Scarlett says, Andy's going for top weekly score again. That Tonson, Andy, surely he's on your bench, right? Substitution at Ellen Road, kids, as we approach half-time. It doesn't involve Mark Viduka. David Batty has twisted his ankle and is coming off for Eric Bakker. Martin Corrigan has been booked. Leeds are definitely on top, but Fulham are defending very well. Impressive considering their defensive injury woes. Well, that is a shocker. Andy Martinson, yeah, third on bench, Moukoko. It had to be, surely. Colco at the Storm Legacy, probably Shearer. What's Shearer done now? He ain't the substitution, he's still on. We're not at half-time yet, guys. We'll get that confirmed. Obviously, FPL captain, our man on the graphics, who you should all, if you're new, be given a follow up here. There's his Twitter handle. He'll let us know when it's half-time, and I can tell you that goals are still coming in. Blackburn have had another shot on target. Stig Inga Bjornaby, the goal scorer. Assist for Alan Mahon. Blackburn lead Tottenham by 4 goals to 1. And I'm not at all surprised. Excuse me. So Moukoko's coming in for you, Andy, yeah? Bloody hell. Lucky bastard. VDM2 sick over that Pedersen goal. Decided against taking a -4 to bring him in. James and Mahoney, you don't need to tag me in that sort of comment. I'll see it anyway, pal. FPL Panic, all aboard the Moukoko tricycle. It's fucking awful, mate. Near Shakhtar would like Fulham to fuck off. That's fair enough, mate. Pet Talk says Backer's back. It's true. On the Bjornaby goal, Spurs defending has been woeful this half, even by their standards. To give Bjornaby his dues, though, this is a fine strike. Dunn plays Mahon down the flank and he picks out the Norwegian who volleys brilliantly past Tota. Game over. Listen, Ian Hart owners, don't be fretting about the fact he's missing out on a clean sheet tonight against Fulham. He's going to get a fucking hat-trick at Spurs in game week 21, mate. Jack Wilson says, what's going on with Spurs? Jack, you are a legend, mate. You know that. You are a proper legend. What's going on with Spurs? What's going on with Spurs is we haven't got a goalkeeper. So basically, every time the other team has a shot and it's on target, it goes in the goal. That's what the situation is. We haven't got a goalkeeper. We also haven't got a defence either. Not wrong what the boys said on the stream the other week, or I think it was Luke said it on his stream Wednesday. Just a reminder, obviously you can catch Luke straight after me at 10 o'clock on the Championship Manager channel as well. Ledley King, bravery, 6 out of 20. Fucking hell, you're right. Dirty. My God. Half times are now confirmed, guys. So Arsenal 1, Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn lead Spurs 4-1. Man United lead at Charlton through the Van Nistelrooy penalty. We've had no updates from Stamford Bridge, but it remains goalless between Chelsea and Everton. And Alan Stubbs is obviously part of Everton team. Bolton lead Derby 3-2. Pedersen has a couple. CM legend Makuku has got a late goal for Derby there to keep them in the game. Remains goalless at Ellen Road between Leeds and Fulham. Leicester lead Villa through the Akin Bailly goal. Berger has 2 for Liverpool. Kevin Phillips with a response there for Sunderland. It remains 2-1 to Liverpool against Sunderland. Newcastle lead Southampton 2-0. Front 2 have been on the score sheet. Cole Court and Alan Shearer. And at Upton Park, the front 2 have both been on the score sheet as well. Di Canio and Defoe in the goals. Well, it's half time, guys. Oh, fucking ears pissing me off tonight. Talk about shit. Anything you like. If you want to do FPL for 10 minutes, as in strategy and stuff like that, I don't mind. Although I have covered it to death in the podcast that we've done. Strategy's basically been yesterday and Monday's podcast. It's like an hour and 3/4 worth of it. If you want to do it now, fine. One condition though. Once the football restarts at 9 o'clock, no more official FPL shit. Arbitrage and Leeds will demolish Spurs. Absolutely, not in doubt. If Viduka's fit, do you know what? As a Viduka owner, I don't even particularly mind if he comes off now. I'd like to get the 60 minutes, but if he comes off and he blanks and then he's fully fit for Spurs, as an owner, I'd be quite happy with that. And hope he's in a better condition, and then I would consider captaining him. Going to be hard pressed to look beyond Van Nistelrooy with a home fixture, but could be. Storm Legacy. Disabled Luke said target Fulham and Southampton defence. Didn't mention Spurs because James is a good guy. It's me and Luke are both laughing at that. Listen, I was with Luke Sunday night in the stream and I was waiting for him to say no, James, when I said like about Janssen as a 1 week punt. And he was like, no, I can't argue with you, mate. I feel like Luke didn't want to say. I reckon Luke's brought in like treble Blackburn and we just don't know it. Feely M2, only hope that Toto is in nets when they play Leeds. He will be in nets. It's not even a doubt about it. FPL Hitman, did you look at the Everton tactics, James? Blackburn have competition, good old 8-1-1. Pal, I go through all the tactics at the start. You know this, buddy. Billy Hadaway, how have Fulham not conceded yet? Well, apparently they're doing okay. Kieran McCormack, what are you drinking? I am drinking this evening. These are from the Beer Nuts. I finally got my delivery. These are the Santos Sirens, 5%. Very nice they are as well. Hippoc says, what ranking are you hoping for this season in Champman FPL? Discussed that Sunday night as well. I think top 50 would be a great finish. I'm aiming for first though. Christopher C. Bruno, Rashford or Pogba on pens for United when FPL comes back is a massive headache to me. My instinct would be Rashford. Joe Finley Badder, anyone not that bothered about the double game week? I like KDB, Alba and a few Sheffield United defensive options. That's it. Good for you, Joe. David Strom, free hit, bench boost, but no wild card. Talk to me. Free hit. Depends what your squad is. I can talk to you in any way, David, but it's very much dependent on what your squad is, right? So if you're really set up to go and bench boost straight away and you've got a good squad, just fucking do it, mate. Do it. It sounds like you don't. I think those without the wild card are probably quite well best off avoiding unlimited. It's probably going to give you more trouble than it's worth. So free hit will cover that off quite nicely. Andy Martin confirmed all fitness and injury news will be on tonight's stream with Disabled, so we can all find out the bad news about Mark Viduka and Ian Hart then, I should imagine. James Alapron, knob in the block, who is the captain for my treble captain in double game week 30. And I ain't calling it plus. Fuck that stupid shit that they've come up with. Aguero for me is the best shout. Even though you'll find out really interesting with FPL Pringle tomorrow. Can't make any guarantees on any Manchester City players playing twice. But one of Aguero, if Aguero had those fixtures as a single game fixture and you definitely knew he was going to play, say it's Arsenal at home, you definitely knew 100% that Aguero was going to play, you'd captain him. That's how I feel. I'll be very surprised if we don't play both. Andrew Martin, he said all that. Steve Jones, if I do loads of transfers to get my team set up, then do the free hit. Fucking hell. Am I right in thinking my team will then go back to whatever it was before I did any transfer at all? Yes. If you make transfers and then play your free hit, you will have the team that you had when the game reopened, or at the end of game week 38 to be precise. Okay? Don't make transfers and then try and play the free hit and be clever. Like, this message has gone around so many times now, and the reason I get a bit about it is because I know I'm going to get asked it another 50 times between now and next Wednesday. So if you can help share the message in the community to say, yeah, this is what will happen, great. Because people just, unfortunately, it's not particular criticism you see, it's just me getting frustrated. Just don't do it. There isn't a way of breaking the system. If you use a free hit at any point, it reverts back to what your team was at the start of a game week, when a game week opens. Okay? It's as simple as that. Pep Talk saying Viduka v Ledley King. I mean, yeah, great. I mean, Spurs might even throw the towel in the fixture, mate, and not even play like Ledley King and stuff. Might be youth players. Might just go, fuck it. We're going to get battered by Leeds. Let's target the following fixture. I don't know. I said this the other night. Ledley King at 4.0 is not even value, unfortunately. He never kicked a clean sheet. There's literally no point in it. FPL fell, nice one, Andy. Thumbs up. Auto Recluse, class. Is there another disabled stream later? Score, love, listen to his noise. Yep. Your man will be on at 10 o'clock. He'll take you through all the injury news, the analysis of the stats from these fixtures that we're obviously covering now and that. So, as soon as I'm finished, head over to the Championship Manager YouTube channel and join in with Luke. He'll start basically when I finish, 10 o'clock-ish. Gary Smith, how old is the king in this game? Which was about 21, I guess. Well behind on these old comments now, aren't I? Well behind. Storm Legacy, Vardy on Watford, swan song if football doesn't stop due to a positive test. Kane will come in next week. Good for you. Cal, hi James, if I have free hit, will my team revert to? Just kidding, mate. That's right. Dick Wellington, you're being way too nice about that. It's all good. It's all good, Dick. We got loads of dicks out there. Don't worry about it, mate. Perlo's Pen, you lads just need to listen to Planet FPL pods. All be explained then. Yeah. Although even ourselves, to be honest, we recorded on Monday. The announcement came at 1:50 and we recorded straight after 2 o'clock. And then the official account clarified it just after 3 o'clock. So even we tripped up originally. But once you've got the message, be clear on what they're saying once it's confirmed. So yes, they didn't make it clear in the original because in their actual worded statement, and this is where I can understand the confusion, in their worded statement, it does make it sound like you can use unlimited transfers and then play a free hit. It doesn't clarify what actually happens to your original team, but in the rules of the free hit, and that's what's important, it absolutely is clarified. And if you've got any doubts at all, please go and look through the official FPL accounts Twitter feed where they sent out a clarification tweet around about 3 o'clock on Monday. FPL Hitman says, what are the chances of Liverpool slipping again? Absolutely zero. Zero. Auto Recluse, don't forget about Chelsea assets in this double game week. Forgot about them, mate. You tell me, Auto Recluse, with certainty that Marcus Alonso will play against Aston Villa. Give me certainty. Give me certainty, actually, about any Chelsea player other than Kepa, Rudiger, Azpilicueta. Give me certainty about any other Chelsea player starting against Aston Villa. Don't think you can have it. Jessica Pyatt, I've still got both triple captain bench boost with a wild card and free hit in FPL. Set up strong a week in advance. There's different ways you can do that. Just kind of, again, depends on your strategy. I've fell on my strategy of what I want to do on our Patreon pod that we recorded last night. My plan currently is to use the unlimited transfers, bench boost in game week 30. I have everything but triple captain. And there was me saying I was going to triple captain Aguero in game at 30. I ain't going to do that. I fucking bombed it on Mane, didn't I? Bench boost 30. I'm going to suffer game week 31 because I think with a little bit of coverage held behind of Liverpool Wolves, that's basically going to be my makeup of bench boost, that actually I'll be okay with City and some other bits as well. So I'm going to suffer 31, free hit 32s, cover off Man City playing against Liverpool. Then I'm going to wildcard in 33. That's my plan. And the reason to wildcard 33 rather than 31 is a gain of information over 3 fixtures for everybody rather than 1. So you could say, yeah, wildcard 31, free hit 32. But then by the time I've got to 33, do I still like my wildcard? So I like the idea of going, do you know what, 31 is going to cause me some trouble, but I'll probably run through with it and be okay. And then I've got 3 weeks of information before I wildcard for the final 6 fixtures. That's part of my thinking at the moment. FPL Hitman said Happy New Year. It's very kind of you, mate. Yeah, is it 2002 yet? I don't actually know. Isn't it next game week? I think it's next game week, isn't it? Ah, I see what's happening. Andy Martin says, just remember as well tonight, guys, that James will finish his stream on the 29th of December 2001 and Luke will start his Champman stream on the 1st of January 2002. Happy New Year. So basically just like a 3-day piss up for everybody, except you're going to lose the 3 days and it'll just happen in like 1 minute. How clever. Jessica Python, free hit 32, didn't think of that. I like that because I'm certainly going to want pieces of Liverpool and City, but I don't particularly want pieces of them playing each other. And there isn't a right or wrong, by the way. There is no strategy that's right and wrong. The only strategy that's definitely wrong is if you try and transfer in a team and then free hit it and think you're going to have the team that you transferred in, you're not. Mark Dorney saying, look forward to Sky FF rather than FPL, to be fair. Yeah, we released our Sky FF podcast earlier today. That's on YouTube now as well. I'm really looking forward to the Sky restart as well. For anybody that's thinking of playing Sky Fantasy Football next year, I strongly recommend playing it now for the rest of the season to try and understand the rules, get used to the game with no pressure. Because trust me, a brand new player can win that £50,000 in their first season. And I think I would have had half a shot if I didn't make so many mistakes at the start. So picking up the game now is a really good idea to understand the functionality. We'll take you through it. And if you don't want to do that, we'll have a beginner's guide podcast in the summer as well before the new season starts. Second halves are underway. Please drop the official FPL questions. And I didn't cover all your comments, but thank you very much for contributing, everyone. Second half is underway. Let's hope for more of the same as what we had in the first period. What, like another 4 Blackburn goals? You're okay, mate. What have I got? A Van Nistelrooy goal. Fucking trolls. Not even a Van Nistelrooy captain goal, you know. Goal at Filbert Street. Dennis Wise is the goal scorer for Leicester City. Assist goes to Jordan Stewart, stepping in place of Andy Impey today on that left-hand side for Leicester. He's assisted Wise. Normally it's Wise assist, but it's Wise goal this evening. Wise goal, Stewart assist, Leicester lead Villa 2-0. 2 minutes into the second half at Filbert Street. James Street says 2002 English chance to win the World Cup. Unfortunately not, mate, because we didn't fucking qualify. And that's the simulation. We didn't qualify yet because we couldn't beat Greece. And was it Romania? Ukraine, I think we lost to. Andy Martin will tell me. Oh, Ukraine we lost to in the playoffs. Yeah, state of it, mate. Final Richie says, what's an official FPL? That's right. Liverpool's lead has been whacked out at Anfield. Kevin Phillips, you sweetheart. 1 week too early by the looks of it, or actually 2 weeks. Kevin Phillips has Sunderland level at Anfield. He's got his second. An assist for Chris Bart-Williams. He can play the fixtures, but anything can happen, right? And Phillips is a very, very good goal scorer in this game. I wonder if he'd have 2 goals if Hibbery and Henshaw were playing. There you go. Henshaw obviously knew would be missing through suspension. James, you fucked up, mate. Yes, David Strong point. It's not available in Norway. Yes, unfortunately for Sky players, it's for UK based only. Sorry, I should have clarified that. Luke Porty saying awful half for me so far. Yeah, second half's not got any better for me, mate, unfortunately. Storm Legacy 2002, 6 months off from the most controversial match in football also. South Korea get a semi. Most controversial match ever. There's been some more controversial moments in World Cups than that. Go and have a look at Argentina and Peru in 1978 for a start. What a season a little midfielder is having, Dennis Wise. Stewart is involved again, playing a nice passing for Wise, who runs onto it, turns well, and then hits high and hard into the net. Perfect start to the second half for the Foxes. Ash said, since when was Liverpool away a difficult fixture in this sim? It wasn't, I suppose. Now, nobody's been doing bits at Anfield, to be fair. I'd have to go and check, but I think they're probably the first team that scored twice at Anfield. Someone will correct me. I don't doubt that. But I'm not sure if Liverpool conceded more than one in a game at Anfield. But yeah, pump it in the chat. I'm no doubt wrong. If there's any non-Gary, I'm not Gary Shepherds and stuff. The joke's a bit old now. I'm not reading your comments. Sunderland equalised. Super by Phillips as he recovers Bart Williams' chip pass before taking on right, getting into the box and firing past Dudek. Lovely. Patterns change again. Liverpool want to attack once more. One of the real Gary Shepherds saying Phillips was great back then. Yeah, certainly terrific in that 99-0 season, his first one. 30 goals the first Premier League season is awesome. Brad Lewington sold Pedersen from recaptain. So we're in the same position, Brad. You sold Pedersen from recaptain. I sold Phillips from recaptain. So there we go. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, he tends to either score early or not at all. But he did get a second half hat-trick at Fulham recently, didn't he? I'm sure all the goals were in the second half. So still a while to go. And I'll tell you what it has done, I can say, in terms of the changes I've made. It's left me very well set now for 22. I have 11 players now for those 8 teams that play. And should all those teams double in 23, I'm in a very strong position with them as well. And I would bench boost. I'm not naive enough to think that lots will not change in this game. Oh, there you go. Substitution at Highbury. First change here sees Noel Whelan replace Alan Boxic. Apart from a Hamilton Rickard long shot, it's been all Arsenal, with most chances coming for Henry. Parler also went close in the first half. You're telling me that now? It's 5 minutes into the second. Jack Wilson saying England, Germany, Lampard over the line, shot disallowed. Yeah, but there was no VAR then. It was just the referees fucked up. We're talking about was serious underhand stuff going on in some of them other fixtures. Like Argentina, Peru, 78. It's not right. Leicester's clean sheet is gone. Goal scorer for Villa, George Boateng, assist, Steve Stone. Boateng goal, Stone assist. Feely M2, are you not English? Are you unhappy with the World Cup that we won in 66? FPL Bricky says Phillips is an ex-Watford cockwomble. That's from a Luton fan. They don't like each other. Bricky, Joe Finley Badder. Have you two met? Introduce yourselves, kids. Vinyl Richie, Sweden, Denmark, 2-2 Euros, though. Only results send Italy out of the tournament. Yeah, but I watched that game, Vinyl, and that wasn't a stitch-up, mate. It wasn't a stitch-up. It's just the way it happened. Once it got to 2-2 in, like, the last minute, then, yeah, they settled for it. They weren't stupid at that point. But, yeah, they did not play that for a 2-2, mate. Look at the goal Thomason scored in that goal. The game was ridiculous. Andrew Martin, what game was 0-0 in the World Cup with both teams qualifying and had to change the rules after that's final games altogether? I don't think it was 0-0, Andrew, but it was a game between Germany and Austria in '82, which fucked over Algeria. That might be what you're thinking about. I think Germany had to win 1-0. Germany scored after about 5 minutes, and they basically spent the rest of the game just kicking the ball about because they knew that result would take both teams through. On the Boateng goal, brilliant individual goal by Boateng. He gets past Taggart, Savage and Sinclair before hitting a nice low finish past Walker. He collects the ball from the net and runs back to the centre circle. Benjamin has replaced Dean Sturridge. Sturridge is off. Owners. And I'm sure there are Dean Sturridge owners out there in this chat. He has left the field without a return today. And presumably a 1-pointer. What minute did I say Mark Viduka would go off? 55 was my prediction, wasn't it? The answer is 53. This is what fantasy managers feared. Viduka, who came in with a knock, sees his number go up and he goes off to be replaced by Alan Smith. He went close a few minutes ago when Van der Sar saved well, but apart from that, it's not been his night. That's okay. I knew there was a strong possibility that would happen this evening. And like I said, if he's fully fit for Tottenham, then I'll be absolutely delighted that I didn't sell him. Delighted. I would strongly consider captaining him, even with Leeds' dodgy away form against Tottenham, possibly over Van Nistelrooy. What have United got? Is it Derby, isn't it? I need to give that some thought. Oh, well, I don't need to give it too much thought. Luke will probably tell me in about an hour and 15 minutes that Viduka's out for 3 weeks, in which case it will be calling Alan Shearer, I think. Talk of the devil. He scored again, Shearer. 3-0 Newcastle. Assist goes to Gary Speed. Alan Shearer, the scorer. Gary Speed, the assister. Yeah, in a different universe, I had Shearer and Phillips tonight. Shearer has 2. Speed with the assist. Great night for Alan Shearer owners if they're, it's just dead people. And he's got 6 more minutes to make it to the hour. Feely M2, Ireland and Netherlands stopped playing after Ireland equalised to make it 1-1 draw in 1998 World Cup. They got both through to knockouts with that result. Yes, that's true, but it was also very, very late in the game. The Germany and Austria in 82 was bad. Like, they played nearly the whole game like that. Ireland and Holland knew the situation late in the game once England had scored against Egypt. And obviously then once Ireland had equalised, they knew that they would put it through. I think if Holland had known in hindsight they'd end up playing West Germany in the last 16, they would have tried to win the game. This was back in the days where, a little bit like the European Championships now, you had certain groups where 3 teams would go through. On the Shearer goal, Speed gets a nice near post crossing after good work from Quinn, and the imperious Shearer beats Lundekvarm in the air once again to head past Jones. Acuna comes off for McLean, while Saints replace Svensson and Ray with Monk and Murray. Oh my God, Monk has just come on for Southampton as well. Fuck me, Shearer's getting at you if he can hold on any more time. Changes at Anfield. Biscan trots off for Redknapp. There goes another one of mine. While Sunderland bring on Medina for McCann. Chances continue to come here, mostly for Sunderland, although Heskey has also gone close twice. Phillips looking borderline unplayable at the moment. And an update from Highbury. Borough have come back into it well since Noel Whelan came on, and now they go very close. Greening sends in a lovely ball for Rickard. He catches his half volley cleanly, but it bounces back off the post, so close to an equaliser. Penalty to Tottenham and a red card at Ewood Park. Spurs have been pushing hard and now they have a penalty. Grayson puts in a horrible 2-footed challenge on Selakovic and it's a straight red. Kelly has already saved a Selakovic pen this season. Can the Swede score this time around? So presumably he's won that penalty himself as well. Selakovic will take the penalty for Spurs. He's got an assist. Can he now add a goal to it? It's obviously highlighted in the commentary. He missed that first penalty he had in the reverse fixture against Blackburn earlier in the season. And if I remember correctly, that was also off a 2-footed challenge by Keith Gillespie, which ended up in the Spurs penalty right near the end of that game. Incredible. Yeah, shit, I don't like no returns. Oh my God, and he's missed. Selakovic has missed the penalty. He can't. Selakovic penalty isn't bad, but Kelly seems to have the measure in this season and he palms it away. Unbelievable. Spurs replace Ledley King with Ben Thatcher. Can Spurs make their man advantage count though? No, man. I bet Blackburn score again. Selakovic missed penalty. Jesus. Ruud van Nistelrooy captain, as I suggest you're winning again. Just tick over nicely with another 18 points for you as it stands. Not that you can't score again. I've had too many updates on the Valley. Gary Shepherd, the real one, saying, heading towards my worst ever game week score. Welcome to the second half of the season. Oh, this is definitely my lowest score of the season. No doubt about it. No doubts. Lots of laughing emojis in the chat following that Salakovic missed penalty. Kelly 2, Salakovic 0. Makoko scored again for Derby. It's 3-3 at Pride Park. And I feel like Chris Riggott might have assisted Makoko's first. And he has now assisted him for another. New players do not fall into this trap, I'm telling you. But he's a very, very good player in this game if he plays. So say all the experts. And he has 2 today. Derby 3, Bolton 3. Cole Coop, -2 for penalty miss question. The answer to that is yes. Near Shakhtar says, I'll be lucky to break 30. As it stands, I might be lucky to break positive, mate. FPL Badger, another nightmare, 30 seconds, King off and Salakovic missed pen. Listen, Badger, King going off. You now got -1 rather than 0. Terrific. Ian McAllister said Thompson, so too does Andrew Martin. On the Makoko's second goal, actually, I'll come back to that because of substitution at the Valley. 2 changes for United before the hour. Dwight York, still without an attacking return this season, is replaced by Andy Cole, while Ronnie Johnson comes off to be replaced by Wes Brown. United on top for sure, but they need a second to be comfortable. On the Makoko goal, he scored again and Pride Park has a new hero. He's a fantastic run again and he finds himself in a great position before lashing home like an experienced striker. Can he get a hat-trick? What a debut for him. Bolton can't cope with him. Oh, I bet people get tempted by him if Derby have that double in game week 23. Ah, stick him in. He's 4.5. I tell you what, if he plays at Old Trafford, we see. We see. He certainly could fill some holes. Take that however you want to, by the way. Avitrara says at the moment average should be below 40, I guess. Don't know about that. Wait till you see how many people have captain Van Nistelrooy, I'd suggest. And it's not going well for Ipswich Town at Upton Park. Jermaine Defoe has a second. Assist goes to Don Hutchison. West Ham 3, Ipswich 0. Defoe the goal, Hutchison the assist. People have a decision to make, I think, on Ipswich Town assets. Unbeaten at home, but the away record is bad. They only have, I think, 7 home games remaining. Decisions need to be made. Is bonus points enough? Is it? I don't know. Storm Legacy says that's a no Coco for me, James. James Gowans. Come on, Jimmy Floyd Hasman. Have we had any update at all from Stamford Bridge? Brendan Davis is sitting on 20 points after -48. I probably would have done that the week before, mate, if you want to be ready for the second half of the season. This is not a drill, said the official account. West Ham are really going to win a game. Hutchison finds Defoe, who made himself available in space, and he drove a low finish home. Surely, not even they can throw this away from here. Titi Kamara has replaced Svetoslav Todorov. FPL Hitman, Makoko carriage incoming. Gary Shepherd said, who voted the stream down? Did someone give me a thumbs down? Is it? Really, this stream's not even on 100 likes. I can't believe it. You lot are slacking, man. That's what I'm saying. Andrew Martin said, I hope new players are not put off. It's just Christmas rotation like you'd get in real life. Nah, Andy's fucking lying to you. Like, he's got your signature now, and now he's bullshitting you. Listen, kids, let me tell you the really, really bad news. Game week 21 is going to be fucked as well. Substitutions at Stamford Bridge. The players are alive. The game is still existing. 2 changes to report for Chelsea as they look to improve. They've been terrible. The game's been terrible. Stanic is on for Johnson, while Gronkiar replaced Carbone about 10 minutes ago on 53. So bad here, they add. And at Filbert Street, Dennis Wise, playing with an injury today, remember, he's replaced by Delaney. Villa also looked set to bring on Delaney and Hitzelsberger for Carr and Hendry. We've got 2 fucking Delaney's coming on, 1 for each side. That's interesting. Paul Merson has seen a free kick excellently saved by Ian Walker. Those are words you don't hear often this season. Excellent save by a Leicester goalkeeper. Although it felt like Tim Flowers saved everything in game week 1. Goal at the Valley. And what Dwight Yorke can't do in 20 game weeks, Andy Cole was managed in around about 2 minutes. Andy Cole has given Manchester United a 2-0 lead at the Villa. Assist is Ruud van Nistelrooy's. Andy Cole goal. Van Nistelrooy now has goal and an assist. Van Nistelrooy captainers, you have won this game week. Open a can. Jessica Pye says the one thumb down on the video wants to revive the Gary meme. Sorry, Gary. Billy Hadaway's got Rude captain, Pedersen and Cole. Woo! Killed it, mate. Killed it. Andrew Martin says, "Oh, like this stream, Makoko gets a hat-trick." 1, you know what's going to happen. 2, whenever you say something like that, Andy, it's always the reverse of what you're suggesting. So we now know that Makoko isn't going to score. It doesn't matter because you're the only person who owns him anyway. Andy Cole with the United second. Van Nistelrooy turns provider, lifting a lovely ball in to find Cole in acres of space. He steadies himself and drives it low past Kylie. All over for Charlton now. Question, they replace Mark Fish and Jason Yule with Jonathan Fortune and Graham Stewart. Dennis Irwin and Roy Keane have been booked. Joseph Blazowski says, has Sella missed a penalty? The answer to your question is yes. And for anything you want to catch up on, if you're coming very, very late, look below me is the video printer and look below me a little bit more and you'll see all the goals and assisters for the games today. And you should probably see that it says up there Salakovic missed penalty somewhere as well. I'm sure it says Grayson red card as well. Substitutions at Highbury. Arsenal replaced Tikhonov with Inamoto, while Borough exhaust their allowance of subs by replacing Windass and Rickard with Summerbell and Nemeth. Plenty of good football here without there being loads of chances. FPL captain saying only 26% captain Ruud van Nistelrooy last week. I can tell you, Chris, and I don't know this officially, be a lot fucking more this week. I'm absolutely certain of it. I would think Van Nistelrooy is captain by over half, would be my guess. Andrew Mike confirming that's a Roy Keane suspension, 5 yellows. That would mean a suspension for him in the first game of game week 23. United only have 2 games, 1 game, sorry, which from memory is Liverpool away. I say memory, it did help that it came up at the same time as well. So yeah, Roy Keane will be suspended, I'm pretty sure, for the Liverpool away fixture in game week 23. Woodwork has been hit at St James's Park. Who else but Alan Shearer? Kieran Dyer plays him in and he's unlucky to see his fear strike come back off the post, inches from a hat-trick. Newcastle way on top, although Pahars has seen 2 decent penalty shouts turned down by Ellery. You would think they would not try and kill this guy. They're winning 3-0 against one of the worst teams in the league. Just fucking take him off, man. You've got like loads of games to come. Newcastle host Chelsea next. Fulham away in the blank. Then a possible double game week of Leicester away and Arsenal at home, if I remember correctly. That will come round on a fixture ticker in a minute, but I think that's right. Kieran McCormack is Rude captain and has Phillips as well. Very nicely done. Rian Mills, how many penalties has Salakovic missed now? Surely he's been taken off them. Just the 2, and both of them against Blackburn. Leeds 0, Fulham 0. It remains at Ellen Road. There's an injury concern here for the Cottagers. Steed Malbronk, who is quite an injury-prone player, is limping around and struggling. Wasn't at 100% coming into this anyway. He's not played well today, but it looks like he's going to play through the pain barrier here. Let's hope he doesn't worsen any prospective injury there. Interesting. I imagine Malbronk's ownership is now very, very low in the community. He did very well for me at the start of the season. But he does seem to be someone, I think Luke said this before, that he's well on that list of players who are injury prone, like 15 or above out of 20. So he's liable to pick him up. Correction for Derby's third goal against Bolton. Following a review of Derby's third goal, the Premiership Match Centre has confirmed that Adam Murray got a significant touch before Makoko received the ball. Therefore, Chris Riggett's second assist is removed and awarded to Murray. Dick Wentz says 14 days is January 12th, start of game week 23. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anybody sent off or fifth booking today would miss 23. Andy Martin says he thinks it's 22. I'm pretty sure it's 23, Andy. I think. Because I'd worked out that on the last game week, they would miss game week 22 in 19 because it was 2 weeks from the day then. Goal for Spurs. It could be a popular one at Ewood Park. Sergei Rebrov has scored for Spurs at Ewood Park. Stefan Everson with the assist. Now 4-2 to Blackburn. 21 minutes to go. Remember, Blackburn down to 10 men. Come on, Spurs. Nick a 4-4. We like an away 4-4 late on. Save them goals for 89 and 94 if you wouldn't mind. Niz Godfrey says, please, Thierry, please wham for fucking once. Listen, when anybody starts begging in this chat, you might as well take your player off. They don't return. So as an Henri captainer, thanks very much for that. Ash, Rob Pick made a mistake. Rob Pick makes many mistakes. FBL Bricky, 12th minute goal from Arsenal. What the fuck's that, mate? Mark Dorney saying, come on, you Spurs. Gary Shepherd's week. Yes, Sergei. And information on Sergei Rebrov's goal. A flicker of hope for Spurs. Anderson crosses for Everson and Norwegian heads back to his strike partner Rebrov, who lashes past Kelly. Can they find two more? Spurs also now replace goalkeeper Tota, who has been terrible, with Shawan Jalal. And I can tell you, it won't be any better. But as Blackburn are down to 10 men, and knowing them, they might have gone ultra defensive in the circumstance, considering they were winning so heavily, although they don't normally at home. Then, yeah, Blackburn might not have another shot. He might be all right. But listen, whichever one plays in goal, might as well not be in goal. Might as well play seriously. Get hold of like Ben Thatcher and put him in goal or something. FPL Panic says, come on, Rebrov, just another 2 goals and an assist to make holding on to you instead of getting Viduka worth it. That's the sort of mad stuff that gets tweeted to at official FPL, isn't it? Alan Conning, no wonder Harry hasn't appeared with you, Captain Henri. Listen, still fuck Arsenal, right? I'm keeping Harry for when I need him, really. It's going to be difficult, though. Like, I'm a bit worried that, like, further down the season, like, if we're going to start doing 9 o'clock at night and stuff, I can't be dragging him in at 11:15. He's going to be asleep, mate. So, I don't know why I started whispering then. It's really fucking weird. Billy Hadaway, Jalal, keeper from Iraq. He was, I'm not sure if he was from Iraq, but I mean, you might know better than me, Billy. He certainly was from Asian descent, definitely. Gary Mantle says Sean Jalal ended up at Woking. Not even at the end of his career. David Strom says who? It's harsh. Woking, Martin Tyler's team. You know, Aguero. Aguero hasn't scored, but Ipswich Town have. Remember every last week when well, I suppose it was 7 days ago now, wasn't it? Kept winding you up about Alan Armstrong. Again, assist goes to Matt Holland, who I think was on West Ham's books as a youth player, I think. Alan Armstrong the scorer, Matt Holland with the assist. West Ham 3, Ipswich 1. Jesus. Just looking at the bottom of the table. As it would stand now, Chelsea would be dropping to 17th, 3 points above Newcastle. They play each other at St James's in game week 21. Andrew Martin says might have to price up Jalal 3.5 million. Question. Andrew, listen, them Spurs keepers, you've got to make them 4 millions, mate. To be honest, if it was 3.5, I still wouldn't fucking buy either of them, mate. It's ridiculous. Whatever price would be too much. I like Pep Talk shout at 2.5. I think that's fairly realistic. The only reason it's not realistic is for people who've already used their bench boost and then just go, oh yeah, I'll sod it there and I'll have the value elsewhere. That's why you can't do that. But yeah, they can't be more than 4 million if you give them a price, mate, legitimately. It's like Ledley, I love him, right? But you lot have stitched him up with the stats and stuff. So it's not even worth it. He'll never keep the clean sheet. Still be fifth, and it'd be Spurs' fourth defeat in a row, which I think says a lot about the consistency of other teams as well. Although a winning goal from Liverpool would actually put them up to fifth as it stands. Substitution at Highbury. Inamoto's game only lasts 10 minutes as he comes off injured. Wonder kid Jermaine Pennant, without ankle tag, is on in his place. Mark Crossley has also just saved well from Dennis Bergkamp's excellent 30-yard drive. This would be a big 3 points for Arsenal. It's over 15 minutes to go there. Max says, who would have thought Chelsea Newcastle would be playing a relegation 6-pointer in January? Definitely not. They should both be top 6 sides, or at least in and around about that area in this simulation. And they're in trouble at the moment. Cole Coots says, can you give us cash back to have a Spurs keeper? I'll tell you what, right? I'll go and get a pair of them. If they price both of them up at 4 million, get both. There's a strategy idea for you. Get Tota and get Jalal both for 4 million. It's only 8 million on keepers then. And you'll still hate it. And Keller will be back soon as well anyway. Christopher C, do you think they will do Champman 0-0-3 after the season's over? I'd be sad to see it go even when FPL is back. Wait and see to the end of the season, Chris. It's up to the guys. They've got lives. Look how many people are involved in the making of this game now. It's on proper Tinternet website. Yeah, we all love it. It's up to the guys. And it's easy to say now everyone loves it, but you know, if you get to game week 32 and your rank's 300, are you still interested? I hope so. But we'd have to see, right? If my rank's that shit, then I ain't doing streams anymore. George Salt, Jalal is currently signed with Chesterfield. So he's still a fucking player. He's proper young. He's like 18, 19 in this, I would have thought. He's seriously young. That I definitely can say. Sam Thomas, anyone know if Gordon has been subbed on? Yes, I do. No, he hasn't. You'd know about it. Leeds 0, Fulham 0, but the woodwork has been hit at Ellen Road. It still remains goalless in spite of Fulham's makeshift backline. Leeds have been on top without creating many clear-cut chances. But here's one. McPhail lays it off to Keane. He stretches to control and smashes it in hard, but sees his fine effort come back off the corner of the post and VAR. 15 minutes to go. Bradley Parker, pennant wonder kid, laughing emoji. He staked the place out at Wolves when he was here briefly. Attitude awful, mate. Most of the people in the chat just went, Pennant was at Wolves? Nah, don't have any recollection of Jermaine Pennant being at Wolves, but probably a few places I can't remember him being. Christopher C, I'm ranked 600 in the first half league. Still love it. Good on you, Chris. That's right, mate. Biddy Hadaway, I'm in this till no end, no matter what. Yes. Luke Veerstig, my rank's that shit, but I'm still in. Good. Cole Coote, too much Xmas bonus money for the postman. Would you expect him to return away to Arsenal today? Surely not. By the way, I think it's a big rotation doubt for the next game. Just saying. Even more so with Gordon not playing this one. Big rotation risk for that West Ham fixture in game week 21, in my opinion. Mark Dorney, have McPhail and Keane for fuck. That was a good hiccup, for fuck's sake. Graham S says someone will score in that Leeds Fulham game. I agree. I think Leeds will score. Water Recluse, I'm propping a lot of the game up, but still love it. Good. Ritravo, McPhail assist, gone. And then we've got FBL Hitman and Gary Shepherd, both retracted messages. Oh, it's interesting. FBL Hitman, even if my rank 1000, I'll be here. Alright, good, I'll be here too. I was only joking. Just jokes, guys. I'll be here. Can't promise I'll be here next season, though. Man's got to make a living. Woodwork's been hit at Filbert Street. Steve Stone, not content with his assist, goes so close to an equaliser. He receives Hitzelsberger's pass and beats Delaney. He looks like he's run too wide, but he gets a fine shot away from a tight angle, which comes back off the bar. It's interesting when Luke was talking about Steve Stone. I think it was last Wednesday night. I was saying actually could do all right, good attributes, but pace. Right? Pace was 6 maybe. But he might do all right, and for whatever reason, he's playing at the moment. Not too bad, Villa. I think they're one to have a look at again, in my opinion, after game week 23. Hard pressed to go into them at the moment, I think. Cal says, thinks Barmore is going to get a 90th minute winner at Ellen Road. Jessica Price says, I legit think I'm outside the top 1,000. You can't be, Jessica, because Suj is at around about 750. Bradley saying Wolves had a pennant when Wolves were down in League One. It's not that fucking long ago. Anurag says, is Ruud van Nistelrooy everyone's saviour for decent points this game week? Certainly ain't mine, mate. Graham S, yeah, Ruud and Pedersen. I think at the moment, as it stands, I'm on... I think Van Nistelrooy's goal is going to cancel out my hit. I'm going to probably have 6 points for Seaman as it stands. And then I've got a few 1s. And there's going to be a few 2s. Let's call that another 10. So I think as it stands, I'll be on about 16 net before bonus. I think that's where I'd be roughly at the moment. Harbour Boy says hello. Hello, Harbour Boy. Pete Squires, there won't be 1,000 active teams on website now, I'm guessing. Not a clue. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. FPL Woollyback says, Borough equaliser would be nice. Listen, Seaman's like my only legit return at the moment. Jessica Pye says, I think I'm behind Suj. Someone's got to be. Andrew Martin, nearly 2,000 at Pete Squires. There you go. 2,000 on the website. Eat that. Get in. I'll be fucking bottom of it. Like that's it. They start bad and it can only get better, right? Pet Talk, just remembered that Redbrough scored Selakovic's only successful pen of the season. Christopher C. So yeah, I know now 4 beers in, tipsy already, drinking after 3 hours sleep wasn't the best idea. It's all about 24-hour streams, mate. Aritravo, it's amazing in response to Andy Martin saying 2,000 teams entered on the website. So it looks like most people did manage to work it out. Brilliant. Jose Vargas, how many points is Seller getting today? The answer to your question is 3 plus any bonus, which with him probably won't be bonus. So 3 points. Woodwork's been hit at St James's. Before that, it's been substitutions. Mark Draper's game is over. He is off injured for McDonald. Newcastle sub young Jamie McClenn and part fit Kieran Dyer. Bellamy and Sapunsis on now. Saints coming into it a little, but Newcastle still a much better side, and Shearer stays on. And the Woodwork's been hit. Newcastle so close to putting the icing on the cake. This time it's Cole Court. Bellamy sends in a nice cross and the big striker somehow finds himself up against Bahars. He towers above him but puts his header against the post. I'm certainly regretting not having Kevin Phillips for the next game week. And there you go. Straight afterwards, Cole Court has now scored for Newcastle. It's 4-0 against the Saints. Cole Court has a second, I think. Newcastle lead Southampton by 4-0. No assist on that goal. Mr. Martin and crew. 2,000 is an amazing number. Very, very well done. I got to be honest. I thought a lot like, I'm not carrying on. But I think there's a lot of new players in there as well, which is great. So that's brilliant. Gary Shepherd says 2 thumbs down for the stream now. Such will be fuming. I know. It's my fucking pay rise gone, isn't it? Storm Legacy. Someone tell Wenger Cole needs to come off. Got to keep him healthy for the Chelsea transfer. Also, I'd like that clean sheet. Eritrara says, bring on Harry. Henry Red would be brilliant now. And the postman scored the equaliser. Power have got Henry captain. Goal at Stamford Bridge for Everton. Kevin Campbell is the goal scorer. Gary Naismith with the assist. Monster goal in the relegation battle. Everton lead 1-0 at Chelsea. Kevin Campbell with the goal. Gary Naismith with the assist. Listen, that guy they've appointed in charge, we'd all like that prick sacked anyway. And how long is he going to last if this continues? If they lose at Newcastle next week, could they be changing the manager again? I don't think that's too big a thing to say if they drop into the relegation zone. Big goal. Everton lead at Stamford Bridge. Means clean sheets now remain only for Arsenal, Manchester United, Everton, Alan Stubbs, your boy. Leeds of Fulham and Newcastle. Yes, I've got Dabizas not playing. Clean sheet, possibly. Hart not playing. Clean sheet. Sold Stubbs as part of the hit. Possible clean sheet. On the court goal, disastrous play by Southampton. Gary Monk tries to play a 1-2 with Lundikvarn 25 yards from his own goal. Court reads it to intercept, advances into the box, and slots the finish past a disconsolate-looking Jones. Southampton so bad today. Chelsea's going down. Ash kind of hoped it was a Stubbs. I'd have laughed. That would have been brilliant. Yeah, I mean, selling Stubbs before Rufus made more sense. Part of just a little bit on the decision making, and part of that as well is Charlton have Everton at home in game week 23. And part of that is thinking that I could well end up bench boosting 23. And I think having the likes of Jensen and Rufus as part of a bench boost in that game week is all right, you know. That's potentially quite a strong place to be, I think, if those are going to be my weakest players in my squad. So that's part of the thinking. That's why Rufus stayed and Stubbs went. I mean, the intention would have been, if I'd kept both, neither would have started anyway for me. I mean, I would have ended up with Stubbs in the team. But I'd have been selecting Stubbs as last sub if he'd have ended up staying. Colm saying to Neil Murray, welcome to the madness. Don't you love it, Neil? Costin T, add Goma and Silvestre to that. Was that more players missing? Gary Shepherd says a lot when I'd have been better off playing Keller than Jones. Yeah, but Keller's not playing. So you'd have Jones come in, wouldn't you? They both conceded 4, mate. Excuse me. Pardon me. Storm Legacy. Chelsea going to sack him and get Tony Pulis to get them out of the relegation zone. FPL Hitman average about 25 this week. Don't be silly. Van Nistelrooy is going to be on 18 and half the people have got that. So the average is still going to be 45 plus or so. West Ham, get them some toilet paper down at Upton Park. Ipswich have a second. Holland now has a goal to go with his assist. Jamie Clapham has the assist now. So Holland now goal and assist. He scored this one. Clapham with the assist. Ipswich now only 3-2 behind at West Ham with 4 minutes to go. Cole Coots laughing at the idea of this Southampton side trying to play 1-2s defensively. Yep, can understand that. David Strom saying may go free hit 23, wildcard 24. Yeah, decent strategy for those still got the free hit. I don't mind it. Just bear in mind, I'd strongly recommend listen to the Champman stream on Sunday. Get yourself a pen and paper and listen to what I said about chip strategy. Andy Martin could probably say better than me roughly when it was in the video. It was in the second hour, maybe like an hour 20, something like that. I don't know. But I did a 5-minute piece on that stream about chip strategy and what can cause blanks and doubles. The immediate problem beyond, we don't know if those 23 doubles will happen till game week 21 is gone. So we'll find out Sunday night if those game week 23 doubles are on or not. And then there's the immediate problem which you can't plan for, is that game week 26 will have blanks. if there are FA Cup fourth round replays. So any side that has an FA Cup fourth round replay is highly likely to blank in game week 26. Mr. Martin, I'm pushing people towards your site, like I will again at 10 o'clock when Luke begins his stream analysing this game week and bringing you all the updated injury news. On the Holland goal, if West Ham fans were just starting to relax, they shouldn't have. Good work by Clapham down the left, beating Kamara before putting in a lovely ball for Matt Holland, who rises higher to head past Hislop and set up a tense finale. And yes, next Tuesday, I am going to make this work and make it fun for 2.5 hours with only 4 fixtures. Yes, I'll be honest, I'm very unlikely to start before 7:40 p.m. next Tuesday. But I will make it work. I will bring some shit. We'll have some fun with 4 games. We'll make it work. You're going to have the same amount of players playing. Most of you are going to end up with nearly 11 out or 8 out at least, I think. I mean, how many of us have got 11 out tonight? Probably quite a few of us haven't. I'm sure there's loads of you that do, by the way. Cole Coo, I know I'm 20 weeks too late, but I need to get rid of Veron. Yeah, but the thing is, then he scores. I need to get him. Then he blanks. I need to get rid of him. Anytime Veron go mental, you know the risks. Andy Martin said FA Cup results on the Sunday stream. What was I saying about Veron? Ruud van Nistelrooy has scored again for Manchester United. Assist goes to Quinton Fortune. Van Nistelrooy, 2 goals and an assist. You reckon average of 25? Van Nistelrooy's just topped that by himself. Van Nistelrooy goal, Quinton Fortune assist. Minutes ago at the Valley. United lead 3-0. Thierry Henry, you wanker. Carl keeps saying good man. I presume that's for him trying to work out how I'm going to make four games work for over 2 hours. I will. Jessica Pye, bring the drugs, James. We can all just get fucked off our heads watching a stream. Yeah, we can all do that shit. Talis says, shout out to Sean at Ragtime Willie, who is awake early in Australia for updating the website very shortly for all of us. Shout out Ragtime Willie. On the Van Nistelrooy goal, which has fucking killed me, because actually, despite everything, if I'd captained him this week, it might not have been that bad for me. Lovely play by Fortune down the left as he waits for Van Nistelrooy's run before picking him out perfectly in acres of space. He drops nicely and he powers past Kylie. He doesn't miss those. One small blot. He and Blanc have been booked. So Van Nistelrooy has had a booking, and so too has Laurent Blanc. Gary Robinson says, imagine owning Ruud van Nistelrooy and not captain him. Yeah, probably not the sort of game week to take a chance, but it's the sort of game week that I thought I would take the chance. I thought Richard Rufus might do all right against him. Yeah, bad times. That one's on me. This is why you can't get rid of him. And he becomes like an auto, doesn't he? I mean, them fixtures coming up. What's it? Derby at home. How can I not captain him at home to Derby? As much as said about Viduka away to Spurs. Like, how can I not captain him? The play is Van Nistelrooy captain and Viduka vice, isn't it? That's the play. Full times confirmed. FPL captain, you can turn them red. Arsenal have beaten Middlesbrough 1-0. Blackburn have beaten Spurs 4-2. United 3-0 winners at Charlton. 2 goals and an assist for Van Nistelrooy. Everton have won 1-0 at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Derby and Bolton finished 3-3. Leeds Fulham 0-0. Leicester beaten Villa 2-1. Liverpool and Sunderland drawn 2-2. Nice couple there for Berger and Phillips respectively. Newcastle beaten Southampton 4-0. Double apiece for Shearer and Core. And West Ham have held on to beat Ipswich Town 3-2 at Upton Park. Please stick with me and I'll obviously bring you the bonus points very, very shortly. And then head off to go and watch Luke on the official fantasy Championship Manager YouTube channel. To be honest, if you actually type in the whole word Championship Manager into YouTube, if you don't know where they are, you'll probably find it. But like seriously, I'm sure the guys on Champ Man will tweet that shit out in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. All right, let's get the old tweets ready. See what we got coming up here. Okay, we wait and we wait. Chelsea 2 points clear of Newcastle now, going into that game week 21 fixture away to Newcastle at St James's Park. And Newcastle may have, we'll find out, I guess, in the next hour or so with Luke, if Shearer is fit for that fixture or not. Mr. Shepherd saying, great fun again, gents. Cheers, James, top man. See you all Saturday. You can hang around for the bonus, but much appreciated. The other Gary Shepherd says, thanks, James, top stream. Appreciate that, guys. Really nice. Smash out a like for the video on your way. Sign up to Patreon. Love me. Fund my career. What do you do for a job, James? Sit in front of a camera and talk to myself for 2.5 hours twice a week. And I release 5 podcasts for free on the old FPL community network, and then I'll release another 5 for my patrons just because, just for shits and giggles, because I can, basically. The NHS fundraiser is still open, by the way, and I think the Championship Manager guys have passed 2,000 on their Trust fundraiser, and ours, as you know from last week, passed 6 grand as well. Imagine that, us lot fucking raised 8 grand between us. Yeah, this community. About, yeah, who cares about a simulation? What does an official FPL raise? What do they raise? Us. We rose 8 grand between us. Just because we love this shit. Pep Talk saying, what day does Leeds v Fulham kick off? I don't know. Tweet from the official account. Quick note to say, thanks to all of you transitioned over to the website this week. It all went very smoothly so far. A reminder too, Luke at FFScout_Luke will be streaming on the official channel tonight just after 10, giving his reaction and sharing news. Bonus points in 2 minutes. Thank you, Cal. Dougal's in. Great pod with Mr. Rob Pick. I did manage to catch up with it around about 5:30 this afternoon. Listen to you while I did a bit of washing up, and listen to Rob Pick tell me to fuck off moments after, I mean, blew me trumpet quite a lot. You were very down the line there, Dougal, saying, you know, there's other people been nominated for them football content awards. I know, and I voted for Who Got This Is, because I don't think you should vote for yourself, right? But I think all of you should vote for me, right? It's at Spurs. Get in, vote. You know, the other player I was seriously thinking about potentially getting, because I know that I am going to be getting. He's potentially my next transfer. It's just about timing. He's Ashley Cole. And he, with an assist today, also has top bonus in the Arsenal and Middlesbrough fixture. There are also 2 bonus points for Matt Upson, Mark Crossley and Ugo Egiog. There's also 1 save point bonus for Mark Crossley. So that sounds like a 5-point return for Crossley. So Seaman and Crossley are my highest scorers in my squad, other than Van Nistelrooy, who I really could have done without returning. Fucking state of it. Seaman's got 6, Crossley's got 5. Let's have a look in the detail of the match. No bookings in the Arsenal-Middlesbrough game. Inamoto came on for Tikhonov on 65 minutes, got injured 10 minutes later and was replaced by Jermaine Pennant minus ankle tag. Middlesbrough made 1 change before the hour, replacing Alan Boksic with Noel Whelan. 2 changes on 65 minutes, Nemeth and Summerbell on for Rickard and Windass. Ashley Cole's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. All the others in bonus on 8 out of 10. Every other Arsenal player was a 7 out of 10. Top bonus in the fixture between Blackburn and Tottenham goes to Stigging of Bjornaby. There are 2 bonus points for Simon Davis, 1 for Alan Kelly, 1 for John Curtis and Matt Janssen, Corrado Grabby, Alan Mahon, Craig Short, Tottenham's Richard Johnson, and none for Stefan Selakovic, predictably, I think, in a bad beating for Spurs and having missed the penalty. There's also 2 save point bonus for Alan Kelly as well. So he's landed, I think, on a 4-point. Not that I think too many own. Obviously, Grayson was sent off on 57 minutes in the midst of that penalty incident before Selakovic's missed penalty. He went off on 57 minutes. Blackburn responded immediately by taking off James Thomas, who scored one of Blackburn's goals with Craig Short. And Blackburn's other change was Greer for the booked Martin Taylor on 76 minutes. Grayson's rating during his red card was a 4 out of 10. Beyonnaby's man of match rating a 9 out of 10. Spurs' changes were Jalal Fatota in goal, 20 minutes before the end, and Ben Thatcher for Ledley King on 58. Tota's rating was a 4 out of 10 in goal. Ledley King's was a 5 out of 10. Simon Davis with a 9 out of 10. Interestingly for Spurs, considering the only other player more than a 7 was Richard Johnson on an 8. So, David, Luke, if you're still with us, I'd be very interested to know what is the reason behind Richard Johnson and Simon Davis picking up high ratings, playing together in central midfield. Is it something about Blackburn? Is it because Tottenham had so much of the ball, do you think, because Blackburn went down to 10 men? Just interested to know what might have brought that on about that those guys end up with a bit of bonus. Top bonus in the, I don't even need to look, do I? In the Charlton Manchester United match, obviously goes to Ruud van Nistelrooy. There were 2 bonus points for Chris Powell and a few United players. Dennis Irwin, Phil Neville, Quinton Fortune, Ashley Cole, Wes Brown. So an 8-pointer for Phil Neville playing out of position right in midfield. No bookings for Charlton. There were 4 Manchester United players booked. Dennis Irwin, Laurent Blanc, Roy Keane, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Roy Keane, I'm 99% sure, will be suspended for United's fixture at Anfield in game week 23. Charlton made 2 subs just after the hour. Stewart and Fortune on for Yule and Fish. Yule disappointing with a 5 out of 10 rating. United's changes were Cole for York on 53 and Brown for Johnson on 58. Van Nistelrooy's man of the match was a 10 out of 10. Top bonus at Stamford Bridge, you should know from my laugh, goes to Alan Stubbs. There are also 2 bonus points for Celestine Babayaro, William Gallis, John Terry, Kevin Campbell. 1 save point bonus for Steve Simonson. Fucking hell, you couldn't make it up. 2 bookings in the match, Chelsea's captain John Terry and Everton's Steve Watson. Chelsea's changes we knew were Gronkia for Carboni on 53, Stanic for Johnson on 63. Everton's changes were all after the hour. Kevin Campbell, Eden Towell and Leon Osman were all used in place of Thomas Rosicki, Mark Pembridge and Alexanderson. So Campbell's goal obviously came following a substitute appearance. Stubbs' man of match rating was an 8 out of 10. All those in bonuses only on 8 out of 10 ratings. Top bonus at Pride Park does go to Tonton Zola Makoko. 2 bonus points for Chris Rigger and Henrik Pedersen. 1 save point each for Mark Poom and UC Jaskalainen. 2 bookings in the match for Steve Elliott, Kevin Nolan. Derby's changes were King Clardsey for Bragstad on 41 and Mwenny for O'Neill on 72. Steve Elliott and Kevin Nolan were the bookings in the match. Bolton made 2 changes in the last 10 minutes using Warhurst and Diawara to replace Madison and Colin Cooper. Makoko's man of match performance was a 9 out of 10, as was Pedersen's rating a 9 out of 10. Bonus points, Finn on the ground at Ellen Road. 3 bonus points to Rio Ferdinand. 2 bonus points to Lucas Radaby. 1 save point bonus to Edwin van der Sar. That is it in the bonus. Ferdinand's man of match performance was a 9 out of 10. Radaby with an 8 out of 10. No other player with more than a 7 out of 10. David Batty went off injured on 46, replaced by Baka. Viduka replaced on 54, not confirmed if there's an injury or recurrence, but presumably very low on fitness, replaced by Alan Smith on 54. Fulham didn't make any changes in the game. Steve Malbronk soldiered through the game. What's interesting, the fact that Fulham kept a clean sheet with a makeshift defence. There's some bad ratings here as well. Corrigan, who was booked on a 5 out of 10, he was the only booking in the match. Malbronk, 5 out of 10. Stolzers, 5 out of 10. No Fulham player with more than a 7 out of 10 rating. Interesting. Sounds like it was dull. The official count added to it. If I had to guess one game in this fixture lineup, definitely wouldn't be 0-0. It would have been this one. Far from a classic. Only 2 players earned bonus points. Remarkable. Top bonus at Filbert Street goes to the Jerry Ferry, Jerry Taggart. There were 2 bonus points for Matt Heath and 1 for Robbie Savage, Adi Akinbayi, Jordan Stewart, Gareth Barry, Paul Merson, George Boateng and Bosco Balaban. Ian Walker has 1 save point bonus. There were bookings for Lee Hendry and Dion Dublin, who captained Aston Villa. Leicester replaced Dean Sturridge with Trevor Benjamin on 53 minutes. And on the hour, 60th minute, which I presume would still be pre the 60-minute mark, so it's a one-pointer essentially, Dennis Wise replaced by Damien Delaney. Wise obviously did score in the game though, but it'd be 1 appearance point rather than 2. And Villa made 2 changes 5 minutes after the hour, with Delaney and Hitzelsberger replacing Stephen Carr and Lee Hendry. Taggart's man of match performance was a 9 out of 10. Heath also with a 9 out of 10. Top bonus at Anfield, like this hit could get any worse, goes to Kevin Phillips. 2 bonus points for Patrick Berger, Emil Heskey, Richie Partridge, Neil Sullivan, Jody Craddock. 1 save point bonus each for Jersey Dudek, Neil Sullivan. Liverpool made 1 change before the hour. Jamie Redknapp replacing Igor Biscan on 55 minutes. And inside the final 20 minutes to replace Stephen Wright and Vladimir Smica with Frode Kipper and Nick Barmby. Frode Kipper, what a fucking name, yo. Sunderland replaced Gavin McCann with Nicholas Medina on 53. And Bernd Haas, who might be knocking about in a few teams, replaced Stefan Schwartz on 64 minutes. Phillips' man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. Berger and the others on 8 out of 10. No bookings in that fixture at all. Top bonus at St James's Park does go to Alan Shearer. There are 2 bonus points for Cole Court and 1 for Gary Speed. 2 save point bonus for Paul Jones. So Gary Shepherd, no, you wouldn't have been better off picking Shearer over Paul Jones. Paul Jones has actually got you a 2-pointer here, believe it or not, mate. 1 booking in the match was for Southampton's Francis Benali. Paul Jones and Rory Delap with 4 out of 10 ratings for Southampton. And Wayne Bridge, Gavin Ray, Anders Svensson, James Beattie, all 5 out of 10s for Southampton. Shearer and Court, both 10 out of 10 ratings. Newcastle's changes were all inside the final 20 minutes with... so McClenn come on for Acuna on 54, then went off on 73 for Craig Bellamy. This game's fucking weird, man. And Zabuntzis on for Kieran Dyer with 11 minutes to go. Mark Draper went off injured for Saints to be replaced by Scott McDonald on 67. Pre the hour, they'd taken off Gavin Ray and Anders Svensson to be replaced by Paul Murray, Gary Monk. If I didn't say it, Francis Benali was the only player booked in that match. And finally, top bonus at Upton Park goes to Matt Holland. There are 2 bonus points for Rigobert Song and Thomas Gardso is the Ipswich defender in the bonus this week. 1 save point bonus for Matteo Sereni. Only player in the match booked was Steve Lomas. West Ham used Kamara to replace Todorov on 53. It was a late substitute appearance for Christian Daly replacing Don Hutchison. Ipswich's changes with Alan Armstrong on in place of Pablo on 60. And Martin Royce on for Chris Makin on 65. Makin, Tarico, Bramble, all 5 out of 10 ratings for Ipswich. Interestingly, Herman Hreiderson still with an 8 out of 10 in that fixture. The 3 players with bonus, man of the match Holland and Rigobert Song and Ipswich's Thomas Gardso, all 9 out of 10 ratings. Hreiderson still with an 8 just outside the bonus. I won't go through the Premier League table because it's been up on our screens, on our graphics this evening, etc. I have had the worst FPL game week ever. I think I couldn't have taken a worse hit, but I will be in a very good position for upcoming game weeks. So I just got to wipe that one under the carpet. I hope for many of you that your arrows have been green. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves tonight. Real FPL is returning, but we're very much committed to what is happening in this one, and that's not going to change either, I promise. Next, head over to the Championship Manager official YouTube channel, Luke at FFScout_Luke Disable. We'll be talking you through the action from this evening, giving you all the updates in terms of injury news, etc. So you guys can get ready and get prepped for game week 21 right here, 2:30 p.m. Saturday. Deadline, I assume, is 11:30, but I don't actually know that. Anyway, thanks very much for your time this evening, guys. Hit the like quickly before you fuck off and leave. Love you all. Speak to you soon. Go and watch Luke. Ciao for now.